Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are watching in the world. This is the Red Horde, and we're back with another one, the Do We Hate Ya message. This one a little bit special because it's my wife's hometown, Doncaster. So look over my shoulder a little bit and make sure I don't get in trouble for too much of what I say. So the question is, Doncaster Rovers. Let's get into it. Doncaster Rovers, AKDRFC, the Dons, the Vikings, the Rovers, a bunch of different names that they go with, formed in 1879 and then reformed after World War I in 1919. Location, Doncaster in beautiful South Yorkshire. Population 113,566. The stadium, formerly known as Keepmoat Stadium, that's what it was called when I was there. This is the only lower tier stadium that I've been in England. Last time I was there was a 5-1 Doncaster win over Rochdale back in League One in 2019. So in any event, now called the Eco Power Stadium, we'll take the Google trip. We'll end up doing the spin. While it's doing that, you can see it coming in. Opened in 2007, capacity 15,231, 6,500 people. Let's bring up a picture for you. And if you're curious, 109 miles away, well, that's 175 kilometers, estimated 2.5 hours. I tried to look over the turnover, but it became a challenge. The only source I found was a website called Pomanda, and the turnover is too high, 14,200,000. So that probably captures Football Fortune. Not certain, but it is a team with capital, and the owner, even at the start of the year, said that they were going to spend some money, and they did bring people in. So Doncaster, a team that you'd be expecting a little bit more out of. The bookies had them at the start of the season to finish 9th in the league, and right now they sit at the bottom. But here's the caution. This is a trap game, one where you can end up looking down the road and you could miss them. They've played a lot better in the last two games, at least statistically, analytically, so not one we want to sleep on. They're, as you'll see when the roster comes in, they've got some older guys and they've got a lot of youth. And as those youth start to gel, I expect Doncaster to end up being one of those clubs that builds up over the course of the year. The way the season started, though, they might be running out of runway unless they get points, so they're going to be playing with desperation. So trap game, let's not sleep on it. Getting into some of the data, this is a club that's got a lot of history, and when I say history, I mean sort of like the Alex Hamilton-esque type history. Not positive, some crazy stuff, and also some interesting promotion goals and backstory. So let's get into the Doncaster stuff. Last championship was in 2012-2013 when they won League One to move up into the championship. They've had 2 seasons now. This is their second one in League Two. Within the EFL, they've been there for 20 years. Their high water mark in the pyramid was 1902, where they finished 7th in the second tier. Their low water mark, well, that was the time they spent in the National League, but more specifically 1998-1999, where they were 16th in the National League. Their kit, bring that up here, their sponsor Eco Power, for the longest time it was LNER, which is London North Eastern Railway. Yes, London North Eastern Railway. Doncaster known by a lot of people because whether you're traveling London to Edinburgh, London to Manchester, up to Leeds, you're going through Doncaster by train. So it seems like everybody knows where Doncaster is, and it's a beautiful place to go through. I'm going to get in trouble for that. Anyways, their jerseys, home kit, red and white horizontal stripes. They're away this year, black with red stripes, and their thirds, blue and white hoops. I like the structure of the first two, the home and the away. They've got connectivity. What's interesting about them is they're made by Oxen Sports, which is a Doncaster company. So kudos and extra points to Doncaster for doing that. The problem I have is just the nature of what they look like to me. They look more Sunday League. And I know that's going to be a criticism, but they're just not quite as sharp as in its manufacturing as others. And I hate to say that because they went local. So I'm hoping Oxen can pick it up because I'd love to see them. But they've predominantly, it looks like, been doing rugby league jerseys. So let's see as they get into the football stuff, they get the opportunity to strut their stuff, as it were. The owners, Doncaster Rovers, that's Bramall, Blunt, Baldwin. Don't need to get into the financial circumstances, but they've got money behind them. £783 million is what the Keepmoat Construction Group sold for back in the day when the Bramall family had it for 72% share. So that's impressive. interesting claims to fame, and I said this before as far as historically, they've got some interesting backstories. March 30th, 1946, they participated in the longest competitive football match ever recorded. 3 hours and 25 minutes against Stockport County, who, interestingly enough, also in League Two. The game was called due to darkness and then replayed in Doncaster, and Doncaster lost 4-0. May 10th, 2003, and I'm going to put the YouTube video for this one below. There's two of them that you really should watch, actually maybe three of them, that have a lot of interesting stories. May 10th, 2003, so this is the promotion from the National League to League Two, the first year that they had a playoffs to be able to get two teams to go up. Doncaster became the first and is still the only team to earn promotion via a golden goal, also known as a sudden death goal, against Dagenham and Redbridge back in the fifth tier. So take a look at that one. But even maybe more crazy than that was the final moments in 2012-2013 when there were, I don't even want to get into it. Watch the video. It's back and forth, and Doncaster ends up winning the championship. It's crazy to watch. Links down below. Just do it. Hit subscribe before you leave if you leave, or come back, whatever you're going to do. Anyway, 2003, 2004, their other interesting little side story is they successfully completed the double promotion. Not only did they advance from the National League through the playoffs, but then they were the champions the following year with 92 points, which was 4 more than Hull City. Now, there's more history than that. They've got some black marks, and I intimated about Alex Hamilton, and so bring in Ken Richardson. Ken Richardson, infamy. He was the owner, and he actually hired somebody, Alan Christensen, who was an ex-SAS soldier, military specialist, to destroy the former stadium, Bellevue. The team was in financial turmoil. At least because of their financial, or where they were in the league, they were not getting a lot of stadium capacity. There was geographical issues with the stadium. Eventually they kept shutting different components of the stadium down, such that it was down to 4,859 seats as a maximum capacity due to shifting things as a result of coal slippage in the structure. Christensen, the guy who started the fire, got 1 year in jail. Richardson got 4, and they actually caught Christensen because he left his cell phone. He lost it during the fire, and that's how they figured out who it was. So financial combustion, I guess they call it, and Richardson took his chance at getting that, and obviously didn't pay off, and they've got a new stadium, I guess, as a consequence. So June 1997, the Rovers were placed into administration following a wind-up order. They had 3.9 million quid in debt. And then December 2nd, 1997, the lowest attendance in Doncaster's history, 864 people. So they were ultimately relegated to the Football League in 1998, and then they spent some time. Their history, up and down over 140 years, like I said, they've been as high as the second division, but they've also been down through the National League. The last match between Wrexham and Doncaster, you got to go all the way back to August 23rd, 2005. That is 6,591 days, or just over 18 years. The matchup was a League Cup match, which was a 1-0 Doncaster win. And the last time they were in the same division was 2005. That was the year that Wrexham was relegated by finishing 22nd after they had a 10-point deduction for entering into administration. That season, Doncaster finished 10th. As far as Wrexham connections, none currently present. Interestingly, maybe to some historically, September 2011, Dean Saunders left Wrexham to join the Doncaster Rovers, and at the time, Doncaster was attempting to avoid relegation from the championship, while Wrexham were mired in the National League, having just lost out the season prior in the playoff semi-final to Luton Town. This year, their record so far, 0 wins, 2 draws, 4 losses, 4 goals for in their 6 league games, 12 against. No points on the road. Their last 5 matches, though, a 0-0 draw at home to Swindon Town. They were down a man for the whole second half, and stats say that was a fair result. A 2-1 loss to MK Dons away. The expected goals per game says that Doncaster should have probably won that game 1-0. They had 17 shots and 61% of possession, but they just weren't able to beat the MK Dons. And we know how well the MK Dons performed. We saw them, and we've been watching them throughout the year. They're a top performer. So there's, like I said, the last couple of games, things have been improving. 3-1 loss at home to Notts County. That was a fair result according to the stats. A 2-2 draw at home to Mansfield Town. That should have been a loss according to the stats. And 4-0 a loss to Newport, and they were dominated in that game. So they have been playing better as of late. And like I said, we've seen the two teams that they've played most recently, Swindon Town and MK Dons. And so you're able to draw a correlation because you know the strengths and the nature of the teams that you're seeing. You can start to draw some conclusions better from it. And a 0-0 draw at home to Swindon Town and a 2-1 loss at Milton Keynes, not bad results. So trap game. Lots of players on loan. Tyler Roberts, 19 from Wolverhampton. Fall, 20, who's a forward from West Brom Albion. Louis Marsh, 19, a striker from Sheffield United. They've got bodies coming in, and when you look at their lineup, you've kind of got to draw the conclusion that really weak in goal, and now he's probably going to play exceptionally well. And not performing that well up front, but their midfield and their defensive line seems to be relatively in stack. Up front, relatively set. Looking at the forwards up front, a familiar name, I guess, for a lot of people, Joe Ironside. There was somebody who I thought maybe as a striker coming into Wrexham because of his connection with Paul Mullen. He played in Cambridge United a couple of years ago with them. So sort of played in that Batman Robin role, and they seem to work well together. Doing that. So he's had 585 minutes. He's 29 years of age. He's had only 4 attempted shots. 3 of them have been on target, but just the 1 goal to show for it. He's been strong in the air as a forward. It's rare to see the aerial duels wins that he's been able to put together, but he's just not getting a lot of chances. Luke Molyneux is another one, 573 minutes. He's had 6 attempts on goal, 3 on target, and only 1 goal. His shot conversion rate at 16.67% is in the 78th percentile, which as a forward you'd expect and hope that it was going to be better. So they're searching for something up front. Not a lot of options. Young guys, Mo Fall, 20, he's had 321 minutes. He has the highest expected goals per 90 on the team, but nothing to show for it as of yet. And then Sotana, another 20-year-old, he's had 281 minutes. He's got a goal, but his stats, just not enough game time information there to be able to draw anything from it. So expect Ironside and Molyneux, but they could be shaking it up and giving the young guys more opportunity and more legs, because at least with Mo Fall, it's looking like he's getting more opportunities. In the midfield, Owen Bailey, he's been playing both midfield and in their back line. He's had 660 minutes. He's a 24-year-old, so lots of playing time. Big guy, unimpressive stats. His interceptions, he's only in the 35th percentile. Tackles, 57th percentile. He has good dueling stats, ground duels, 83rd percentile on the ground, 90% in the air. So he seems to be a capable option and a trusted option despite his age wherever he goes. George Broadbent, relying on another young guy, 22 years old, 654 minutes, but 29th percentile in pass completion, 38th percentile in successful crosses. And in fact, he's had a lot of crosses, but he hasn't had a successful one as of yet. So his conversion rate was, low. Tommy Rowe, 510 minutes played, 34 years of age, so one of the older gentlemen on the team. Nothing stands out when you look at his stats, 59th percentile in successful crosses, 45th percent on pass completion. He does have 2 assists though. So you look at those guys and you say, well, maybe they've got to look to start to bring in some other options. They've got Zane Westbrook, 26, 351 minutes, and he has the highest expected assists per 90 minutes on the team. So statistically, analytically, maybe he gets more leg time. And that's what I'm saying is there are younger guys. Well, I guess 26 actually makes Zane one of the elder guys, but there are options that they have available. Tyler Roberts, 19, 292 minutes from the Man U Academy. He's successful targets and interceptions, have him first and second on the team. But here's the downside. Offensively, he's there to stir the drink, but defensively, and it may not be his fault, maybe circumstance, it could be other players, just could be bad luck, but he's been on the pitch for nearly 3 goals per 90 minutes. And that's not good. Defensively, Richard Wood, captain, 38, 476 minutes as a center back, 90th percentile in aerial duels. Not that great in ground duels, not that great in the interceptions, just as a consequence of his age. Going to suggest he's a little bit slower, but he's obviously got that savvy veteran history because he seems to be there in the air when they need to have him. So also in defense, Jack Sr., 26. he has the best fought mob rating on the team. 563 minutes. He's got solid stats. He's more than 90% in tackles, higher than 90% in interceptions, ground duels, aerial duels won. So he's a proven defender at 26. But then after you get past that, you've got 4 guys who are sort of scrapping for minutes. Anderson, Olowi, Maxwell, Nixon. And I don't know what's going to end up happening there as to who they're going to plug into the hole. None of them have really stepped up and performed well. So you've got those 2 sort of holding it down. And they've done a 3-4-3 and a 4-3-3 as far as their formation goes this year. So we don't know. We could end up seeing 2 people back there, but they would be the weaker links to go after. Goaltending, this is where it gets ugly. They've only got 2 young guys from the academy as a backup. They've gone with Ian Lawler, 28, and he's got to be described as a disappointment for them. He's played all 8 games. He is facing near the top of the league in shots, so maybe that's an out. He's in the 98th percentile for shots faced, but he's got 2 goals conceded per 90 minutes. That puts him in the 5th percentile. Not many goaltenders below that, and I think we could suggest who one of them might be as a Wrexham fan. And his save percentage is 57% in the 11th percentile. So, like I said, weaker in the back line. The front line's not getting it done, but their defensive midfield core seems to be like it's finding its traction, and so it's a team that I think could be on the rise, but let's hope that it's just not on Saturday. If Doncaster was a North American sports team, who would they be? I'm going to go with the Arizona Coyotes in the NHL, given its history with Cole. Maybe NFL team, the Cleveland Browns, or the MLB team, the Pittsburgh Pirates. I'm going to suggest that just because as big as Doncaster is, and as much as people talk about the Rovers, they just don't seem to get attendance. And I've been in the stadium before. It's cavernous and without a lot of character. That's probably going to upset a lot of people, and I'm sorry. But just my personal take on it. And as a consequence, when we're looking at food, I'm going to end up saying that Doncaster is like a potato. It's always present. It's everywhere. No one really talks about it. No one really cares if they see it. Nobody cares if they go without it. It's just there, and that's maybe not going to go over well. Sorry. I'll be honest with you. I've been looking for a team to support for 6 years in English football. Doncaster was the first one up that I looked at with some interest. I just couldn't get into it because nobody I found really was into it. True story. So, and maybe they need a documentary. Given their past, there's certainly a story there to tell. So kudos to the fans in Doncaster who've stuck around, because you've definitely gone through the ringer, and I give you credit. I just wish there's maybe more of you, and I wish you luck in the season, but not luck on Saturday. So, bit of business to attend to. Dale from the watch party is in Wrexham, or will soon be there. Might be just be on the plane right now, but he's there for the game against Doncaster this weekend. He's also going to be there for a very important bit of business tomorrow. If you see Dale, by the way, Texan cowboy hat with a Wrexham logo on it, make sure you say hi. Really friendly guy. He love to meet you, love to chat, love to talk stories. So feel free to do that if you are in Wrexham. Also, Friday, tomorrow, today, if you're watching this, I guess, in Wrexham, at the Turf, there is the Global Cancer Awareness Night, and it's going to feature Terry Fox's story. That's a charity that Ryan Reynolds has been promoting. Terry Fox, a famous resident of Port Coquitlam, BC, where I live. He unfortunately was diagnosed with cancer, and to raise cancer research in the early 80s, 1980, he attempted to run across the entire country. He was an amputee at the time. He made it all the way to Thunder Bay, which is an exceptionally long way to run, before he had to stop running as a consequence of his illness, and he passed the following year. His efforts have now resulted in the largest single-day fundraiser for cancer research in the world. And so I'm stoked that Wrexham gets to hear his story and gets to experience that. So head over to the Turf. Donations are encouraged. You can also make them online. I'll put that link down below as well. Make it if you can. Support if you can. And yeah, that's an awesome event. And I'm excited to hear how that one turns out. That's that. Look, we've got... the 17th is coming. That's the first women's match. It's going to be on the S4C channel that you can get on via their website or their app if you have it. I believe it's going to be in Welsh and in English. So take a look at that. We're going to be doing a watch party for that. Watch party for this game will start at 7 o'clock in the morning, 30 minutes, well, where I am, 30 minutes before that, we'll start to run the preview. This video will go before it. And then I'm hoping I have enough time to add some new bells and whistles. We'll see if we get to it because I'm running out of time. It's Thursday night. In any event, that's where we're at. Hit subscribe if you like this. Hit the like button. Need the algorithm gods to end up pushing things a little bit further, and things are improving with the watch party. So stop by, watch, have a good time, and signing out. This is the Red Horde. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. 22 people already in the chat, and we haven't even really started. I'm excited for this one, obviously because of the connection with my wife being from Doncaster, but there's so much going on just with the lineup and everything else. I'm going to actually try to do some stuff here, bring up the share screen and show. So let's see if I can do this properly. We've got, there it is. Dale is in the 1884 lounge as we speak at the moment. Not only is he there, but he's actually met Sandy, who's not going to be in the watch party today because she's also there. And they actually met last night at the Terry Fox fundraiser that was going on. There's a snapshot from that. They went into the night. There's a tweet that I should probably send out of everybody singing, Welsh pub singing about Terry Fox last night. It was outstanding. Come back to this one. There's a suspension in play with Doncaster as a consequence of the red card, as well as some 3 names that are a little bit lesser known from that preview that I just gave. There's our starting lineup, and Mullen on the bench. That's super exciting. Everybody I'd sort of identified what I had identified is I know McLean went on international duty. Mendy, though, I don't, from what I heard from Mark Griffiths on Dragonheart, was that he was back and was in town for the Newcastle game. He'd been shortlisted to Gambia's list, but then never made the official roster. So I thought that with all of, I wasn't certain that he actually went to Africa for the AFCON qualifier. So I thought that he would be available. So not certain exactly what the situation is there, but Fletcher and Mullen on the bench, that gets me a little bit giddy. I am not going to lie. So the 22-man roster obviously listed and shrunk down. That's the official team photo now because we've got the 22 and I believe that that's got the players from that are under contract that are 21 and under and the goalkeepers on it. So things are looking good there. And that can that be, that's not the cop. Somebody, they posted that. So I'm going to assume that that one's okay. No, Bryce is on that list, so it can't be. So let's ignore that photograph. I pulled it from maybe last year's source, but there's the 2023, 2024 in squad players and the 3 names, Bryce, Hosanna. I saw somebody mention before that I was a Hosanna fan, and I don't want to say that I don't like the guy, and I wish him all the success, and I was hoping that he was going to be able to play better than he had, but to me, he had limited performances. I got into a little bit of a debate with somebody on Twitter who believes that he had all the tools, and when he showed up, he was unstoppable, and so therefore you had to take that quality, and he was there more than he wasn't. Hey, we had a disagreement between the player, but in any event, I've had him, actually I had all 3 as potential risks to leave the squad. I was a little bit surprised that Waters went, but not disappointed, just disappointed he didn't work out, not disappointed that he ended up leaving because it didn't fit for whatever reason. It didn't fit. And it allowed us to go out and get Fletcher. Right now, I'm a little bit lukewarm on Fletcher. If I was looking at his FOTMAP stats for Dundee, he had the most shots. Well, clearly he was their striker, but he had a ton of shots, and his shot conversion rate was arguably a little bit low and declining. So I'm hoping that he's still there. He's certainly an aerial threat, which on toes or throws and from set pieces, we know that we need the help there. So we'll see how that goes. I'm curious to see what everybody's thoughts were on that one. And there's the under 21, and obviously you see Max is qualifies there on the under 21 contract list. So I will try and kick that off, bring up my ugly mug, and here I am. So we are getting close to game time already, and I haven't even loaded that up. I do. I think at the half I'm going to play that video. That Doncaster Brentford goal. I don't know if anybody clicked on the links that were in that video, but that's one of those football moments where you just kind of shake your head. So I'm gonna take the time to log in as the chat rolls through. Just one couple things for people if you're new, those that are here and have subscribed. I thank you so much. Welcome back, and it's nice to see so many familiar faces coming up. I heard that W&G fan, and I've seen you a lot, and it's on me. I sometimes the names change, but I don't know your name, so I can't call you by name. But Jen's here, Andrew's here, Brendan's here, so it's nice to see everybody. If you're here from somewhere else, feel free to shout out where you're from. We've got 4 provinces, 17 states, 17 countries represented. So it'd be amazing to have you guys join the list. Gonna get, oh, and of course I'm not signed in. Just give me 2 seconds to make sure that I can actually watch the game during the watch party. Live match center. Watch live now. All right. In Texas, checking in. Whoa. I'm gonna have to control the volume on this one because I am blasting in my ear. They're on their way out. I'm excited for this one. Also, let me know if you guys are at the stadium. I'll probably do a little bit of the play-by-play, but I enjoy just following the chat along too. So, Cal, Texas. I think Texas is the most represented state. We've got Dale, who's obviously over there. 2 of you already in the building. Donnie in their black. This one, like I said in the video, trap game, right? It's one of those ones where Donnie's been playing exceptionally well. I didn't get to go through the suspensions in the lineups, but Tommy Rowe picked up the red card against Swindon, and he got a 3-game suspension, so he's not available for 3 league games. Interesting enough, Richard Wood, who's got 476 minutes, is not there in defense. Instead, they've gone with 3 guys who've had some minutes. They've gone with Harrison Biggins, Zane Westbrook, and Tom Anderson, all in this game who have not really. I mean, they've had 200 minutes, 300 minutes each. So it hasn't been that they haven't got a lot of time, but they've come in for half of the games and played a little less than half of the minutes available so far. So it's going to be interesting to see the lineup. But they've certainly been playing better, but they've given a chance to other people. Moles is on the bench, so let's go. Maine, that's a new one, I think. Oh no, I already had that one on the list. It's a good morning so far. Lots of people signing up. I've got my coffee in front of me. Mark Griffiths in the ear, knowing that Dale and Sandy are sitting there watching this, and they met last night. That's the first time that people from the watch party have met in real life that I'm aware of. And it happened to be in Wrexham with a trip over. So I am super, I don't know, it makes me happy. This makes me happy. And if I caused the curse of Ian Lawler playing exceptionally well, because I peeped up about his statistics, I apologize in advance. Yeah, no Bicker stuff. I saw that. You guys were talking about that before I got a chance to get around to it. I was a little bit surprised that he didn't make the list. So we're underway. Graphics, I'm hoping are coming. I've been working on them all week, but it's just taking longer than I thought. If you're not watching, Wrexham's going from left to right on your computer screen. Doncaster wearing black, going from right to left, and it's already different than the trophy game. This one is the crowd is into it. One next thing, obviously, for Mullen. Palmer's got it in the middle, played just a little bit too far, looking for Dolby down the side. And Doncaster's got control. Interestingly, looking at the time of possession and pass on attack for both of these clubs, as far as it goes, pretty similar. So I expect the pace of play as far as advancing forward and the number of connections that they make before they end up attacking to be somewhat similar. Right now, a lot of setup well in the back. We've got very high pressure deep in the third, 3 guys up, 4 guys up as they're working their way through, and we get the turnover on the right. So Barnett on the right, sliding through, great little move up to the line. Can he get that cross from there? Yes, he can. A little bit too far. Mac London with a first touch on the left and missed it. He's playing it again, trying to get across from the left. But wow, exception, pitbull mentality right off the start. Still on the left, setting it back, pulling it back, and we'll get set up. Wow, that is an impressive start. But compared to what we've had in the past, I will take that. Lee over, is he offside? Yeah, flag goes up just barely. I wasn't sure either as the color commentary jumps in. Oh no, over Mac. Am I speaking too fast? Oh no. Brendan, can you hear me? If not, I'm going to have to switch the audio to the front. It shouldn't be, but let's try. See if that was working. I'm going to have to go to the better audio just now. Okay. So I'm going to try and put this in so I can actually listen to the game because I have no other option. But I'm wondering if it's because I put my headset in today and or whether it was just a connection issue. Let me know how that one goes. I've got to get caught up now. Better now. I'm hope that's what it was. And I apologize. I had no idea because I can't hear my own rolling tones through here. So 3 minutes and 45 seconds is where I'm at if you guys are following along. And I'm going to try and, because you're probably picking up the game now through my headset, I'm going to try going like this and see if that works. But we'll keep going. If not, I may end up being without sound if this is the issue. Oh, offside, way offside. 6 feet offside after a ball into the middle of the box. Yeah, okay. So it's my so I've solved the problem. Oh, he's got a chance to get in. Right foot looking for it. Oh, amazing. Anyway, I'm going to go with this. I'm going to turn down the volume so that hopefully I can hear a little bit of it. We can take this off. Let me know if you can hear the background audio scrolling through. Because if you can hear the background audio, then I'm going to have to sound. And we're back. All right. Everything's cleaned up. Sorry about the tech glitches. Those are going to happen, and they seem to happen in every single watch party that we do. Things to work on. Just figure out what my setup can do and cannot do. So I went with the old models. I didn't want that to happen this time, but I can't control it. Anyway, we're at the 5 minute, 20-second mark. It should be a lot better. I'm interested to pull up the stats here eventually and have a look at it. Perfect. Barnett, he's been really good down the right consistently. Um, it's nice to have him study there, and it'll be interesting to see, McLean when he comes back and Endy when they're back on the left-hand side. I'm really happy with the wings. Yeah, I don't think that's the location. I think it's just I'm closer now because I was playing with them on the setup, and so I have identified that it's the mic when I go to a different audio setup. So I'll have to check with that tomorrow. I'm not going to deal with it today. We're just going to enjoy the game. So other than that long ball over top, and then setting up in the center, I think Doncaster has been somewhat limited. Unfortunately, a pretty impressive save by Lawler to be sure. That may be offside. Flag stays down, and then they look closer because it hit the side netting. Right, but so Doncaster pushing in 3 men on 3. It looked like it could have been offside. That was no fall down the right. Interesting. No, I would say he was offside from a weird camera angle from the floor behind the goal. Long ball from inside their midfield. Lands at Wolfall's feet, and he's a good first touch. Keeps it in stride, rolls forward, and Tozer comes back defensively sliding, denies the first cross, actually hit his feet, lands on Wolfall's feet again, and he tries a short shot, bangs it into the side netting. Another long ball. So really, that's 3 long balls that they've used to search over top of our midfield, and 2 of them connected. That last one rolls harmlessly to Howard. 7.5 minutes. My audio is a bit washed out still. 7:08. I'm talking. I'll just. And we'll roll with it as the complaints come in. We've got a corner. Luke Young, right foot. With lots of chances inside. Come on. Young. Nothing. I'm working on the audio. Trying to enjoy the game at the same time while I'm clicking around. Get it up over top. Goal kick it. Coming back the other way. Yeah, I think it might actually be a hardware connection. I'm going to go with on the webcam. Let me know if that one's better, and then I'll have to worry about things after. And it's all last time I could actually hear myself into my headset, and now I'm not able to do that. Thanks, I appreciate that. It's moments like this where I wonder because you have the setup and it just doesn't seem to work. Better now. We're going to go with the webcam, and I'm going to put away the fancy one, and we'll figure out what's going on as the sun is coming up over in the corner of my little nook in the house. All right, back at it. 10 minutes and 21 seconds. Nice to have no headset and be able to enjoy this one. And I can hear the kids are stirring, so you'll probably hear them in the background. It's just Mass Chaos bad back pass from Tozer, but Howard was able to get that one and clear it out. Let me know if there's anybody who doesn't have the stream and isn't watching on iFollow, because if you're not, I'll continue with the play-by-play. So, foul midfield.
So now, betting odds. At what time do we think Mullen and or Fletcher are coming in as subs? We wouldn't put them on the bench unless they were ready for at least a short little run out. So are we talking 10 minutes? 15? We shall see. It was Grimsby was in a tie today in their match, weren't they? I got that. No iFollow, so I will make sure. I haven't brought up the scoreboard and kept track. Only got to worry about ourselves. That's about what I'm thinking too. So if anybody has the scores you want to update them, feel free to throw them in the comments. I'm not going to be following along. I'm just going to be trying to track this one. And as we pull in more numbers, another thing is if you haven't had the chance to put in where you're from, comment away. Let me know so we can scratch states, provinces, countries off of the list. 17 countries, 17 states, 4 provinces. Long extended possession in the back for Doncaster, kicking it around, and it's been twice that they've been like that. Less pressure this time than previous. We've gained possession. Away we go. Luke Young in the midfield, spinning. Barnett down the right. Long ball up to Dalby, just in front. He's got a chance. Oh, Dalby just went the wrong way off of that turn, and you can't fault him for it. He just had a choice to make as he made that turn, and the ball went by him, and he kind of got a little bit going the wrong way. I think if he would have been a little bit more direct, he would have had a chance for that. Great take from Hayden on the play forward, but we've lost position at midfield. Hi. Now, we had one of the little ones make their first ever escape into it. That's awesome. Nuggets making their way into, if you heard the voice. Trains are going to be made and tunnels for them. Mass chaos in the morning, my word. 4 in the back, Doncaster setting up. They enjoy just sort of setting up with their 3 or 4 in the back line and kicking it back to each other. That's an interesting game only because Tranmere looked so questionable. That was a harder shot, or Howard just had a rough take on that one. But well struck, and Howard wasn't able to secure it with his hands and sort of ended up punching it away with 2 and then running and screwing to pick it up. All the way back. Is it going to be enough for a goal kick? No. So the goalkeeper runs over and nicks it from the line. Lawler at the top end. Still no movement there, which I guess means the Cop probably won't be ready for an extra season. Might have to sneak a look at the Wrexham website, the city's website, to find out what the delay is and that, if it's up there. Good challenge, but then a giveaway. Doncaster setting up on the right now. Dalby all the way back into the lower third to try and take possession. Long play into the box. Whoa, where's the defense on that one? 3 jerseys on the right. Offside. Flag went up. Ooh. I think that the other player was certainly offside. I wasn't watching the one who ended up grabbing it here because that was an ugly mess on the turnover. Came straight, direct ball through. Yeah, okay, he was offside, clearly. Probably, to be fair, if it would have left, the guy who was making the turn would have been able to grab it. Oh no, that's not good. As somebody who knows about construction delay, as I wait for my burnt out condominium to slowly get rebuilt, I know the madness and chaos that is financially and or through things just going unexpectedly wrong, like collapses of scaffolding. Construction is never fun and never on time. That's the one message. Long ball, there's that play. Yeah, Dolby had him on the inside shoulder, and I think he probably thought that Doncaster player was going to grab it off of just watching the replay there. And so he took a step thinking it was going to get a touch, and it didn't. And by the time he dug his feet around to come the other way, Lawler had come out and taken it. So that's unfortunate. Here comes Doncaster again. Interesting dynamic with Doncaster because when they've got it in the back, they're slow. But as soon as they start coming forward, it comes at you quick, right? Long balls over top, and here they are racing forward again. Cleared away, Boyle there. And it'll be a long throw from the corner. Yeah, all Wrexham in the first 10. It's been Donnie coming on. Looks like a glorious day there. Good for Dale, who's soaking this in. Swindon up 2-0. No, and you can see the cop on the replays anyway. It's still got the hill in the corner with all the grass growing out of it on the north side. I know that there were some questions about what to do with basically where that hill is over on the east side, or sorry, the east side, north side. Long throw in because it's owned by the university, and now once the cop is constructed, it's going to be largely cut out. And I know that there was some discussions about what to do there because there's different owners other than the club on both the north and south part of that cop side. University on the north, Welsh government on the south. But that the south side will have street access off of Mold Road. So who knows? It could be bureaucratic. It could be construction nightmare. We'll get into it. But here we go again with the long build-up from Doncaster from the back, and then a long searching ball. Tozer running back is able to collect on this one. So that seems to be the strategy: is back and forth to each other, and then all the way down, and men coming screaming forward. Lee searching for Palmer, not able to find him, clear back out to the midfield. Oh, that's got to be a foul for the push. But no, McElendon has it and sets it up, and we've got it in the back, looking to set up and go. McElendon with the giveaway. Doncaster has it in the midfield. That nice little slide, sort of, whether that was back heel or off the side of his foot, just a deflection that Doncaster made to go through, but it was read well. Now we've got it. I do want to talk with Mark as a broadcaster because watching the stuff, especially like the Tranmere game, they were actually in the stands. Like there's no broadcast booth; they're in the stands with all the fans, and you have to admit the quality is pretty good. I'm curious about how their setup is, especially if they're in the stands. How do they get their transmission out when the connection seems to be so? The internet connection, at least in the racecourse, seems to be so questionable. So Lee with a foul on a Doncaster player on the far side from the camera, basically right at midfield. There's an apology happening. Looks like he took it in the shins, and a card's coming out for Lee. I don't like that call only because it seemed like it was as a consequence of the injury, not as a consequence of the foul. Right? I like the foul to be determined before they go and check in on the player. I don't. He got ball first. I don't. That's not yellow. He's late in there, but he had the ball. He just got through on a follow up. It's certainly a foul, questionable yellow. We play on. What just happened there? We had a tackle, sort of a 50-50 ball, got the ball, but followed through and ended up plunking into the ankles a little clumsily as he went through. Oh, that's so now O'Connor just gave away a free kick, no card for that, but he was just standing his ground. He's just standing his ground. The player jumps through the air and hits his shoulder. I bet you money that if O'Connor would have flopped there, that it would have been a foul to Doncaster. And the replay doesn't show the build-up; it just shows him going spilling over top. It looked dramatic. Like he clipped him on the hip and flipped over. But what do you do when the player's jumping at you? Standard set, right? Don't have a problem with it as long as 50-50 both ways. If those calls start coming the other way, I'll be fine with it. If you're not going to call it both ways, then I'll have an issue with it. That's standard set from Mr. Official. Two sort of soft ones. I mean, the first one should have been a foul, but not a yellow in my eyes. The second one shouldn't have been a foul, or maybe even a foul the other way. Luton Town. Oh no, you're talking championship. Everything else. That's a good one. I missed that when I first read it. Yeah, I can't deny what you're saying there, Kim, about Swindon potentially being the best team. That's certainly a possibility. MK Don sort of had a bit of a blip, it seems, and they didn't perform very well against Donny. Corner coming into the right side for Doncaster here, 23rd minute, a short one. Still over on the right side. No defender out there, so he's able to walk in and find who he wants. Jeepers. No goal. But yeah, and Mark is talking about they should have done better. That was Lee. He pointed and realized nobody's coming out there. Pointed out to have somebody mark, so they just came straight forward, and that was a botched touch, and we're lucky. Wow. Scream and yell at everybody at the half. Talk about the coverage. Um, in that set piece with the corner, I expect Boyle to be closer to the net, so I'm not certain who was expected to take that player on the short corner, but clearly missed him. He was the only guy out there 2-on-1. Fortunate water break that they're taking on right now. 23 minutes, 47 seconds. Parky's in there giving instructions, and we came out like gangbusters, and I'd say it's the other way now. Trying to see if I can pull up. So yeah, you look at the momentum, all red for the first half, for the first 10 minutes, all black for Doncaster in the second. Possessions 56% for Doncaster. Expected goals is to our favor, as we've had the one big chance in their eyes that was missed. Not much to take from the stats other than that, but it has been that's a long water break. And if I haven't said for anybody who is here, just as a matter of, I'm always for promoting the club. iFollow down below, maybe not for this game if you've already missed half of it, but down the road, iFollow is where you're going to end up watching the league games. Have an opportunity. And Griffith Marks comes up on the screen, and there they are again. It just looks like the broadcast booth is set up in the stands. And I've seen that before, but I've never commented on it. I just find that fascinating that they don't have a specific booth set up at the racecourse, or at least a permanent place. Oh, I'm sure that in the racecourse it's a permanent place, but even the away fans are separated. I would have thought the broadcasters were separated. I'm not saying that Mark's rowdy. Free kick our way. ball coming through. We're just not connecting at the moment. We're had got just got to hold on to the possession. 26 minutes, 30 seconds. Boyle with the header to Tozer. Tozer is able to clear away. Doncaster grabs it in their third, and away they go again. Back in, knocked down. Here they set up right in front in the midfield, and they bring it back just to kind of put men forward now as Doncaster pressing and continuing to press now for about 15 minutes. 0-0 is the score of the night. iFollow if you're going to watch, but I'm happy to give my take on what's happening on the screen right now. It's been 16 minutes of continued Donny pressure after Wrexham was pouring it on in the first 10 minutes. We've got the ball on a turnover. Dalby, a little bit of a tough first touch, but can't really blame him as it deflected off weirdly. He's going to set it back. Barnett at senior, cross in. It's a far one. Lee's not able to get it too far off the back post. McAlinden running it back away from the goal line. Luke Young. See, this is better. Little controlled possession. Let's put the pressure on, steal it back from them, set it up in the back, and let them get control. And they do. Tozer with it. Man, Swindon is pouring it on. Holy. Jed with the updates. Palmer not able to deflect. Lee was screaming past him. And that might have been a handball off the Lee, shoulder up, elbow up as he hit, but not called. Doncaster turning the other way. Down the left side, I believe that's a senior. And here comes the traditional. Now, what I expect is the potential long bomb over top, because it seems to be what they do is just back between the backs, 4 men back, still looking, and then you end up seeing a long probing shot. And I'd like to see where we were with the first half, bringing up the press. I know that probably kills the legs, but when the momentum switches like this, oh, bad header. Dalby's kind of got a break. He's got to set it down. Nobody to help. He loses it. He goes down. No call. See, tell me that's not different than the one where O'Connor got called for the foul. Dalby clearly ran into him, clearly went down, but that's the same. Less dramatic, I guess. He didn't flip all the way over. But, oh no. Hayden down. I didn't see anything in the play there. I didn't see it. That's what's worrisome is I didn't see the ball went back into the far left corner. And he's just gone down, and it did look like that's one of those things where a hammy goes or something goes on. It's not a cramp, and they're not stretching them out or anything. So yeah, Cleworth is up. Bugger. Coming up to the 30th minute here, doesn't look good. I didn't see anybody in the corner but other defenders, and you've got everybody over sort of consoling Aiden, and the way he just looks sort of despondent. We'll see how he walks off here. Yeah, he's got a bit of a. It's not as bad as I thought, but it looks like he's. Yeah, he's jogging. And the physio went and grabbed him and pulled him back and was like, "Not today. Settle down. You don't got to show off." Yeah, you can see him shaking his head as he's going off. It looks like something went wrong. He's just despondent, disappointed. Parky's checking in with the physio, and Max going to be setting up on the right side in our back line now. Is that, and I'm asking the question, is that mean that O'Connell's been bumped down in the depth chart by Mr. Cleworth? Or is it just that, or is there a different reason? Do we know that Ewan's okay? Is it an issue? I don't think so. So is it that Max is jumping? Yeah, so Cleworth is in for Hayden, so he's set up now on the right side of our back three. Tozer in the middle, Boyle up on the left side. We've got possession. That was Dalby. Throw in for us. Just inside the halfway line. 32 minutes coming up on the clock. Mullins up, running. Doing hitch steps on the sidelines. Keen to get going into it. Way too soon now. Way too soon. But I'm glad he's I'm just happy to see him up there and in a red jersey, ready to roll. Luke Young, Barnett, right side. Back to Tozer. Searching, can't find anyone left to Boyle. Doncaster now pressing, which is another step back. I hadn't seen too much of a press up front. Tozer, long ball searching. Finds Palmer, who gets it under control, but it's kicked out, and we've got a throw in from the right, taken quickly. Barnett. Cleworth. And the interesting pronunciation there, Cleworth, Griffith says. Am I mispronouncing Cleworth? Kicked out. Donnie's got it. Interesting watching the analytics on as far as the numbers going up as concurrent viewers is it's been higher. Usually it grows consistently. Maybe I'm just not that entertaining today. It's gone up, come back down, gone up, come back down. Can be Tozer country throw in. Here it comes. McElinden was on the left, and I think he was saying that was Bailey, who's probably the best defender on him. Not a long throw. Instead, they take it quickly. It goes out again, maybe a foot further down. Was that enough to get Tozer in? No, taken quickly again. Lee. Tozer. Tozer. Doncaster has picked up the press moving forward. But we've retained possession here largely, but now it's up in the air. See how that's got to be a foul. I would even potentially consider that just because of positionally. A yellow. Nah, I put my rose-colored glasses on for that one. Be a bit of a homer. Just the reason why I had an issue was not in the nature in which Lee was taken down. It wasn't an aggressive foul, but we had three guys up, and if Lee would have spun around him, it would have been a 3-on-3, just all the way straight into the box. So free kick. Lee and O'Connor sitting and chatting. Looks like Lee's got the appetite to take it from the left using the right foot. Two-man wall all the way out, but there it is, chip over top. Taken easily by Lawler, was that Boyle all the way up there? Yeah. Streaking back now. And yeah, the problem has been with the crosses in the games previously, where it seemed to be the guys in the box just weren't finding it. It was served well, I thought, but so far this game, I think the service has been the downside with respect to the crosses. Feel free to let me know. Donnie with possession, midfield on the right, and there's that long ball looking over top onto a Donnie head, but we're able to collect and maintain possession. We do, thanks to Luke Young, who gets it back, and a long ball for us, searching for Dalby way too far. And Swindon and Sutton just decided to show up, and everybody gets a goal. Let's that make it 3-1. Wimbledon on Stockport. That's not a surprise. Wimbledon's been doing well. Stockport, I think, disappointing from their perspective so far this year, at least lately. That's interesting. I don't know. Not looking good is the words that I would use. But welcome to the channel, Michael. I thought it's been fairly even so far. Lawler, funny little play there, but he's able to hammer it down, and we get ahead to it, but we're going to lose control. They wanted a handball, but they're not going to get the call for it. I thought it came off of the shoulder myself when I saw it first. Macklin with a nice little move, but tries to force a pass through the middle, doesn't get there, all the way to the right. Barnett now, hard passing, takes exceptionally well. Get that cross in. Cross. Palmer, oh, header, stop, Lawler, leave. Oh, stop, Fields, and I've cursed it. There's 2 saves. And I think that was a quality header and a quality save off of the boot. Another header down. Luke Young, deflection up over, off the wood, scores! Woo! Luke Young. Luke Young. Too many waves. Deflection up over top and was rolling. It ends up the woodwork. Lawler's going back. Tries to end up grabbing and falls in. We're up. Wow. They don't have to be pretty. They just have to cross the line. Roar it up. You know what? Barnett, good service. Gets it in there. Palmer, good header. Comes back off. Lee, really hard shot. Good save by Lawler with the feet. Comes right back out. I think that was Macklin with the second service in. Headed back, right to the boot of Luke Young. Deflection off of the heel, off of the post, and actually drugged in by Lawler. I want to watch this again. It comes off the post, bounces out, and arguably drugged back in as Lawler's sort of diving back to get into position. It looks like he ended up grabbing it and pulling it into the back of the net with him. If I was the Doncaster goalie, I'd be upset too. Just coming at you in waves, you make 2 good stops, amazing stops to be fair. One positionally, there on the header for Palmer. I don't think he had the time to react. The other one, he had to make the save. He failed the legs out off that Lee shot. So 38 minutes, 22 seconds. Wow. So I believe that's Young's second. I need a third screen that just has the stats somewhere so I can pull them up. You get so confused with what's league cups or league games and what's cup games, who scored. Barnett down the right again. Now we've got some pep in our step. Good little move. Still looking senior there on the right. Sticks the feet in, and the foul is called. Just he's like the roadrunner spinning. He's got the beaters going, and senior tried to stick a leg in for Doncaster to stop him. Got into the feet on the tackle. We're gonna have a free kick here from. Oh, I don't know. Is it perfectly aligned with the edge of the penalty area, but over in the corner? So it's definitely in a threatening area. I think we'll probably put a 2-man wall. Need just 1-man wall because of the angle, but we're close. Put up all the big boys. Let's find a head. TOC from the left. Yeah, Jed, that's what I saw too. It definitely looked like he dragged it into the net. Left foot up, headed away, right back to us. Are we gonna let it go? Yeah, Tozer bomb coming. Jog him over. Here comes the long Tozer throw. It's a beautiful skill to have. Heave towards short post, header up. Doncaster is going to be able to get to that second ball. Oh, put it straight up. So TOC takes a run at it, and his efforts force a turnover. Good for Forest Green. Long one in. Is that going to be a corner? Long one in, just not handled well by the defenders, and they end up sort of just barely touching it when it rolls out. So that was. Or did they give it to a goal kick? No, that's a corner. Pushing and shoving. A ref's going to tell everybody to settle down as the emotions get heated. Yes, Hayden was injured. Nothing much in it as far as there was no challenge. It was just deep in the left corner. The ball went over top and out of play. and then he just took a sit down and went out. It looks like his groin or hamstring or something along those lines. Nothing from the corner, so I headed out harmlessly. Here comes Doncaster on the counter attack. 5-man, 6-man streaking up, but they've got to settle down. Good little work by me defensively. You know what? Brilliant. It went out, so it'll be a Doncaster turnover, but that was brilliant. And we will have long injury time and water break. What do we think? 7, 8 minutes? So Cleworth came in for Hayden. That's the only sub so far. And to be fair, it was right at the changeover, and I'm not saying it was Hayden's fault, but the dynamic changed. Wrexham had control for the first 10 minutes, and then I'd say it was about 18, maybe 20 minutes of Doncaster control and threatening, and then Wrexham's now switched the pendulum back. And here as we get close to the half, it's Donnie far into the right corner. The taxi driver loves the comments. And that's in Wrexham. Where are you going in the taxi? Or real, maybe. I don't know where you are. Are you in Derry this weekend? I don't know where you are this weekend. That's awesome. Another good pinch. And this is when we're at our best, is when we're bulldogging the ball. Able to get turnovers and start turning the other way. That one goes a little bit too far. But Palmer earns the corner. Closure bomb coming in from the left side. Holy, that's quite the game. 3-2 in the Swindon. Fascinating stuff. So yeah, that makes my day right there. I'm gonna put that one up there so I can have a look. Make sure I track it. Sadly, garlanded. All right, I'm gonna have to geographically search that. Long throw in, that was threatening. Kicked out. Is it gonna go? That would have been a fancy own goal if that would have gone in, but well handled by Lawler because it came sort of off of a Donny foot as they were falling backwards. Sunny Donny. Playing in sunny Wrexham. Another turnover. No. Oh, second turnover, back to back. Dalby's down the left. They've got lots of numbers back. Hopefully the reinforcements are able to come rolling in. He's doing 2-on-1. Goes to ground. Can't really call anything there. That turnover was so far upfield. Nobody could get their legs up to get up there. Yeah, he did walk off, which I'm with Andrew, not too bad. And he did try to run off until the physio reached out and grabbed him and sort of gave Hayden the settle down. You don't need to show off. Let's get you off. But the only part that did concern me about that was he did look concerned. Like Hayden looked like he knew something was off. Maybe it was just frustration. Let's hope it's that. Coming up to the 45th minute, we'll find out what the extra time is going. Extra time is going to be. It should be fairly high. We've had the goal. We've had Hayden go down. I'd suggest 7. Vegas odds say. Six. Oh, Howard had to go there, and that was a tricky play because it was right on the edge of the box, and Howard didn't know whether he should grab it, had to play it, so he ended up going for sort of the body on the ball. Free kick. I mean, he went down a little easy there. I threw that one. Taking our time as we approach this one. Boyle advances it 3 feet and just sets it back to Howard. Yeah, it doesn't look like we've got the appetite right now. Sort of searching and looking. Long ball. You know what? Palmer got ahead to it, flicked it on. Barnett's got it now down the right. That was well played. Out to Palmer. Cross. not much of a cross, not enough height on it. But we've gained possession through Luke, up to Palmer. Just working down in the lower third, in the box in the corner. Back out to Luke. We've got space. Long ball. Ooh. It's actually more direct than I thought when it came off the boot. Was not able to get to it. And here comes Donnie on the run. That's a low ball down the left side. No, it's not. Tozer's got him. Oh, there's that left-right direct that makes me nervous. We've had so many goals go in. Just that one-step shot looks like it could have been a thing again. That Knott's MK game is fascinating to me. No, that was a really bad flop, is what that was. And he's trying to sell it. Ironside trying to sell a flop because that was. There may have been contact eventually, but he went down way too soon and way too easy. It was a long ball over top from the right, and Ironside had no business getting to it. So what he did is he just took a flyer. Just look for the contact here again. Barnett ended up, and it looked almost like Barnett might have smashed his nose off the turf on the way down. He's taken out while Ironside took the flop. Pinball in the back third for Donnie, but they get that long searching ball. Tozer's there with the header. Good header away. Dalby tries to advance it. Nobody home until Lawler's able to collect. 3 minutes into the injury time. I might stay for the half, Brendan. I'm going to bring you in, but we'll just chat. I'm not needing to go anywhere. I got everything set up that I needed to do. So Brendan's going to join, I think, at the half. If I get a thumbs up, we're good to go. And we'll chat. I'll bring up the stats and we'll get Brendan's thoughts on the first half. Heading home from the town. I think that's awesome. Listen to this silly Canuck talking about Wrexham playing. You getting the feedback, watching the game through the watch party. Love it. Palmer wins a throw in. Is that in Tozer range? Kind of like maybe close. No, they're gonna. Interesting analysis from Mark talking about how tired it's got to be for the center backs, but the nature of the play that Wrexham's been throwing at them and thinking that we're going to have an advantage in the second half. Goal kick, 4 minutes in injury time. This one was fascinating to me. The Dons and North County match, just simply because they were talking about the officials, they were talking about the lineups. There's so much speculation on Twitter. It's probably the most covered match on Twitter that I was following. So I'm curious to follow along with that one. 1 minute left in extra time. I am not a physiotherapist, and I'm happy to hear from other people. Oh, long threatening ball. Clearworth able to get there. Well done. Came in just in the nick of time, headed away. I think it was groin, and I say that because when he was going off, like the right seemed to be moving well. It's when it's a hamstring injury, I find that the leg movement's off, and the leg physiologically looked okay from a stupid lawyer who doesn't know medicine. And so it made me think it was a groin. Uh, does that matter? I don't know what the recovery time is for any of those moves. But last stab corner kick here, might as well throw everybody into the box because we're into the 6th minute of injury time. 6 minutes given. We're taking our time. Hurry up over there and not too fast so that the ref will let him play on, but make sure that we've got the appetite to get it going. Tom's blowing the whistle, or the whistle's blowing. Tom's searching, left-footed kick from the right, deep kick, headed back out. It's in the middle. Luke's in there again. Header, saved by Lawler. Back-to-back headers, not able to sneak in. So there we are at the half, 1-0 for the good guys. So bring the score up, grab Brandon and bring him in here just in 1 second, and we can talk shop. First half done. Go around the league, have a look at things. And so Brandon, you have to turn off the. That's odd. I clicked you in and I don't see you. How did that work?
You don't see me? You have to change your format, right?
How come I can't see you? Odd.
Put me in and kill yourself there, Sean.
And I can't hear you either.
I'm not saying much, so maybe that's why you can't hear me.
I'm not certain what's happening with the thing because it's the same thing I always do. That is super odd. You can hear Brendan. I can hear Brendan. There we go.
There you go.
And we're back. So I'm going to have to move my sound around because I had to mute myself. And so everybody else can hear you. I can't hear you. Let me know. Just go ahead and tell me your thoughts on what you thought of the first half.
I think he had it spot on. I mean, we had so much energy in the first 10 minutes. We looked great. A lot of chances, a lot of really good chances. And then they started to take over. I mean, they were showing far more energy. They were pressing on every man. No easy passes. So, yeah, I mean, we looked a little lethargic out there. I'd like to see some more energy.
I was just looking at the Fought Mob stats. I don't know if you've ever seen these before. If people have or haven't, I'm just going to try and bring it up on the screen and see how that works. But to me, it's interesting to see what those end up saying is possessions about what I kind of expected, 50-50, close enough. We've certainly dominated, well, not dominated, but our expected goals are close to 1. They've only got a 0.24 on expected goals, and I think that's because they haven't been able to connect in that final third. They've had those 3 back-to-back chances there in like the 20th to the 30th minute, but just haven't been able to find the ball in that lower third. But they've been threatening and in and around the net, and a couple of missteps defensively. So corners, we've got 3. Fouls committed. I don't think that there's much that can be taken away from the stats. Interestingly enough, on the Fought Mob, Barnett leading the way. But you know what? That's not, I think, a strange one. I don't know what your thoughts are, but to me, that makes sense because everything seemed to be developing through the right and through him with the crosses. I don't know who else impressed you maybe besides Barnett.
You know, Lee was very active. He stood out more than anybody else as far as his pace. Making great choices to jump certain plays when they were moving forward and breaking them up. I mean, to me, there were a bunch of guys that stood out, but not for great reasons. I think McAlinden has looked quite bad, giving the ball up, not being able to take or beat his man. Every time he gets the ball, he loses it or has to go backwards with it. Palmer, he's standing up and he's catching the long ball, but he can't turn and do anything with it. Dalby's first touches are not good. The ball's getting way too far away from him. He's not able to do anything when they get it to him. And the only one really doing anything is Barnett, and they seem to have a plan, which is take him to the ground every time they can. The defender on that side just keeps slide tackling and banging him as much as possible, trying to rough him up. And he's still holding up good. So
Yeah.
him and Leah standing out is playing well, and everyone else just kind of there.
I can't deny that. It's interesting you watch the momentum, and those are big swings. Well, I'm not showing the screen. The momentum on the FOTMOB that first 10 minutes, and then it falls off, and then it's been all us, and then them right at the end. I think Barnett's been looking exceptionally tricky. I'm with you there. I'm not so rough on Dalby because he hasn't had the first touches necessarily, but on the press, he's influenced and either directly taken or caused turnovers quite frequently when we've decided to press. And so I give him a lot of credit there. Palmer, it's an interesting one for me because you think big body, why is he there? Is he's to control the ball on coming down, but the center back that he's been up against has been able to get a foot around him or been able to slide around him as he's trying to sort of box out. If you're talking rebounds in basketball, and he hasn't had the same form. Where like usually those long balls over top, you just expect Palmer to set up and come away with possession more often than not. And I think he's had a tough time with the center backs. But I also say that speaks well, and what Mark was talking to is wearing him down. You've got those long balls and Palmer into the body all the time. It's got to be tiring for both of them. So we'll see what ends up happening there. I haven't heard, and I haven't checked my messages or my email, to be fair. I'm just going to have a look now because I said to Dale, who's there having a blast,
from Dale,
to send me some messages and let me know what's on. You know what? They shouldn't worry about me. If you're over there having a good time, don't send stuff to the watch party and just enjoy your time. But
I did see X ask about Hayden's injury, and I was watching when he went down. He must have injured himself because he still walked a few steps before he finally laid down. And I found it interesting, although he was kind of like laying there with his legs stretched, he didn't grab any part of his leg to give us an indication about where he was hurt. He didn't reach behind his hamstring. He didn't reach down and grab a calf. It definitely didn't look like an ankle, but you'd think it was a leg injury, but naturally you grab for it, but he didn't. You'd think maybe he doesn't grab for a groin, like you said, because that's not a good look out there with all the cameras on you. But so maybe that's the case. When I saw it, like his last step before he went down, I was thinking it was calf, but I don't know. Maybe Mark Griffiths will come back at half and say something.
Yeah. No, I'm interested to see. The good news is because he wasn't necessarily grabbing everything, and he was able to walk up, and the physics of him walking looked to be relatively normal. I'm hoping that's okay. Just gonna share my screen one more time and show a funny video. The Wrexham fundraiser that they had for Terry Fox apparently went over exceptionally well yesterday. But this was hilarious to me. This is outside the turf yesterday, and I had to have a chuckle about this one. Share screen. I'm hoping the audio comes out. I don't know if you're able to hear the audio on that one with it's only one Terry Fox, but I don't know why that made my day yesterday watching that one, bringing together obviously a great cause for cancer research and Wrexham together. Looking at the standings, it seems like there's just the divide between the top and the bottom is getting bigger. Like it seems to me that there's starting to develop a clear delineation between the top teams and the bottom teams, and it's starting to separate more and more and more. You look at Doncaster's down, Sutton's down, Tranmere's down, Stockport's down, Colchester's up. So that's the one against the run of play maybe, but I guess they're playing Tranmere, so somebody's got to get points in that one. But Walsall's down, Harrogate's tied, Bradford drew earlier today. So you're starting to get, I think, a greater divide. And maybe Bradford's going to be moving up, I would suspect. I'm surprised at Forest Green Rovers doing as well as they are. I'm going to have to review how that ended up happening. But I don't know what your thoughts are just looking around the league and looking at the form. You even bring up the table and you look at the form, and I guess that's to be anticipated. Lots of red X's down at the bottom for the teams that have lost. But I find that the delineation between the top, the middle, and the bottom
is getting greater.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I looked at a lot of people rating teams, and not too many had AFC Wimbledon doing as well as they are. Only a couple of people really thought they were going to do well. Obviously, people thought, especially with all of not just how good Stockport did last year, but they brought in significant quality, it appeared, during the summer. So you thought that they were just going to run all over people, but they did make enough changes where you question, they need time to probably get used to each other and see if, figure out a style and everything. So maybe that's what they're running into. I haven't got a chance to see any of their highlights to see actually how they're playing. I just keep seeing the results. Mansfield was supposed to be pretty decent. They're doing well. And there were people that thought MK Dons could easily get back there quickly. So that wasn't too surprising. And Gillingham, they were possibly less.
I think the only interesting split there, I'm looking at the teams at the top and sort of where they're at, is Gillingham, because they've had 2 rough matches in a row. They lost to Grimsby in the league. They lost to Colchester 3-0. And they picked up a red card in that one. They were able to, they had Luton Town in the second round of the cup. That's a tough ask. And then Leyton Orient, they were able to take the win against them. But they've been struggling a little bit of late with 2 in a row, and then they've got Harrogate, which you think that they'd be okay with. Stockport's not scoring. That's for certain. I expected Stockport to be that's if I look at the bottom of the table and say who's the one team that you were wrong about, for me it's Stockport. I had them being up at the top as a potential. I think I actually had them slotted in as an automatic qualifier when the season started. Not champion, but definitely in the running. So interesting stuff as we're learning the league and learning the team and learning the players, and we don't play it on paper, right?
When I looked ahead at the schedule, I was concerned about October. I still kind of am. I think there's some tough games, some tough away games and everything. We definitely need today's game. I think we need 3 points. Unless we start getting back to the form that we were 2 games ago, where we were flying around with McLean out there and that energy that he brings.
Yep.
I'd be a little concerned if we played like we are today, because we're not going to roll over teams. The game's going to be too close, and we don't finish well enough to right now without knowing to just keep missing all these chances and not capitalize on it. Other teams seem to get a handful of chances and they get their 1 or 2 scores, and we get 15 to 20 chances and can't make anything really happen. So.
When not before the match against Tranmere, I identified this month as being important because with all teams that we were at that time equal with or below us, right? And I thought, if we're going to make a run and want to be at the top, want to be not just surviving through and getting through the league, certainly lots of season left, but I was like, we want to really be in the running here. We need to take 11 or 12 out of the next 15 points that are available. We've got 3 in the bag. We're looking to hopefully secure 3 more, knock on wood, and don't try to jinx it. But it'd be nice to put these guys away. Grimsby will be a tough ask of the bunch, but then we've got a struggling Stockport and then a middling, at the moment, Crewe Alexandra before we go back to the top of the table with Mansfield. So I'm with you on that one. I'm just going to go back and find out where we are with the game because I've got the screen shut off. They've got the table up and they're talking about it as well. I'm hoping after this game, I want Donnie to do well. It's fun having them around in the EFL, but I was watching their podcast and they're struggling, their fans, with the realization when you're 24th, you're the 92nd team of 92 teams in the EFL. Sort of a humbling position, and you'd expect. I mean, Donnie's a newer, like a mid-size city. They've got the newer stadium there. just not able to pull people in, and they've got good owners, so you'd anticipate them to be performing a little bit better. When do you think Mullins comes in? What's your bet if you're doing Vegas odds?
Again, if you're going to bring him in, you don't want to do anything before like the last 10 minutes, probably, right? Like, just get him a little bit of a run. This team, Doncaster, isn't overly physical, but they are chippy enough where, I don't think they're going to physically. They'll take him to ground more than they'll bang him up top. So it'll probably be fine. I wouldn't mind if it was a 2-goal lead when we brought him in. Because maybe that would take away from their intensity on him, physical intensity on him. So, yeah, well, I think if we get up to 2-0, then there's a good chance we see him in the last 10 minutes.
And I guess I'd like to. I'm anticipating, but I mean, I guess we only have a couple of subs left because Clearwith came in. But I'd like to see Fletcher as well. I don't know. I assume his health is up and he's been training with Dundee, and I don't know what his status is. But at the same time, I guess the forward position is a little bit different because the only other option was Bickerstaff. I don't know why he wasn't. I would have. Again, I'm a massive Bickerstaff fan. Given Waters being out. Where do you put him in the depth chart? Well, we don't know where Fletcher is, but is he above Palmer and Dalby in your eyes?
Yeah, I mean, I think he brings a totally different energy, right? He's faster. He was really pressing, up and bringing it out of their end more difficult. He does what Mullen does, just not as good. Right? He's slightly bigger. Dalby does what Palmer does, where he's taller, a little bit more, but he's not as physical. He's a little faster, but he's not considerably faster. Their two games are close together. I was really surprised to see Palmer and Dalby. I figured, okay, Palmer's been doing pretty good. He hasn't been finishing, but doing pretty good. Maybe it would be him and Bickerstaff that we would see today. So I was definitely surprised. For them to leave him totally off, I guess that's a good sign. That means that one of the other two strikers that they have in the bench, Mullen or Fletcher, has to be, they have to feel comfortable bringing him in because otherwise you have no backup in case one of those guys gets dinged up. So I would expect the way he handled Evans by giving him a few minutes on the day basically he got signed as a warm-up, I would expect that you'd get a few minutes out of Fletcher today too.
Kim has the interesting comment here. With Bickerstaff, at least you get energy. Dalby and Palmer equal lethargic up front.
Definitely, yeah. That's what we've been seeing today. And that energy, but it is so obvious watching this game. Lee's flying around and everyone else is just sitting there. It looks like they're all, like NPCs, and the only guy you're controlling in the video game is Lee. He's flying around, everyone else is kind of there.
Today, I wouldn't say that is true about Dalby. Like when the press is on and everybody seems to come up and it's like it's pitbull mode, Dalby's had the energy. Palmer had that one burst of energy on the right-hand side, and he's certainly been there for the high balls, but he's been, I think, dominated by the center back, which is odd to see. So I'm with you on the Palmer front for this one, but Dalby, that's the one upside. I think that they've been struggling connecting a little bit, but at least. I can't complain about Dalby today, but I'm with you. Bickerstaff is always on the hunt.
Yeah, I mean, I obviously I had said earlier, Barnett is just doing what he always does, which is a ton of energy, very threatening. That move where he cut between the two defenders, using his right foot and almost got away from them there. That was a fantastic move. So he's definitely, they're definitely watching him, and pushing it over that side has been.
We're back at it, so I'm going to say thank you. We're at 45 minutes and 15 seconds. We just started with the half and got it down to Luke Young, who headed it, and it went out. So I think, yes, I've lost you off of the chat, which is odd. But anyway, I thank you for joining. I'm going to take over from here.
Alrighty.
Enjoy. We'll chat again. Always awesome having you. Cheers, Brendan. All right, so 45 minutes, 40 seconds in. Wow, you're at 48 minutes. You know what? I might hit the refresh button on my restream. You may lose me for a bit, but let's get caught up. There we go. I'm at 48 minutes, so that was a good call, and thank you for the reminder to refresh at the half. I'm hoping I'm back and everybody hears. Brendan, I can only see you, so feel free to give a thumbs up and we're good. So Donnie going from left to right now towards the cop. We're going from right to left, and there's Palmer again. You've got to give whoever that FOTMob stats are for the number 5 for Doncaster, you're going to have to give him credit because he's isolated. Throughout here. We've got the ball now up to the midfield, shipped through. I don't know if it came off of no, it did not come off of a Donnie leg, and so it's going to be their throw in. Sort of a lot of middling balls so far. Described as a scrappy start by Mr. Griffith. That's what I would suggest. The Dons go up, and as much as I like to see not struggle a little bit because of one in particular of their fans on Twitter, I kind of want to have just a draw to eliminate one of those two teams getting 3 points in that one. That was an odd clear. I think he mishit that one. O'Connor did and fell to the ground there. I'm just approaching the 50th minute now, and I appreciate the reminder, Jennifer, to refresh. Yeah, I've had to change to go to my webcam. It's audio. I don't know what's happened to the mic. I'll test it all later on. Pay for hardware. Hardware doesn't work. Oh, turnover from Luke Young, kind of was trying to get it out to the right side and didn't get enough on the ball. Donnie's got it. O'Connor covers it, gets it, ball rolls off harmlessly to Tozer, and there's Palmer with a little bit of hustle to steal that one. So you'll take that. Barnett, are they able to maintain possession? No. Scissored into his own legs, and there comes the free kick to Donnie, and that was just a fall. Yeah. Oh, and they say senior, you can see him hobbling around. He's knocking on his knees, always putting it back into joint. That'll teach you for flopping. Mullen is not on the pitch yet. Still Palmer and Dalby. And as I was talking, I think he's going to be a late add, if at all. And I think their addition, slip through the legs. Donnie with the shot. It's in. Huge mistake. Turnover. Clear the ball. Mo Fall gets the goal. I don't know who made the mistake. I just saw it. It was in our legs. We didn't squeeze it through. They just poked it through our legs. And as soon as they poked it through our legs and got possession on the other side, everybody's scrambling. That was horrible defense. Show the replay. So that was Cleworth kind of got poked through his legs. Tozer steps up, and then they're able to get the cross off the line to Mo Fall. As I see that in replay, I'd like to wind it out one more time to see how it got into that Luke Young position, because why can't I type anything in to change the scoreboard? It is 1-1. Odd. There we go. Not that I want to really change it, but I feel we should be factual. So down the left side, Young and Cleworth are there. It goes through Cleworth's legs. Tozer tries to recover and cover for Cleworth, but as he goes down, it gets around him from the goal line and headed in. And here they come again, 2-on-1 with Boyle trying to get back. They offside, way offside. I still think too soon for the subs. That's just my take. increases the probability of Mullen, though. A tie game, you're more likely to bring them in, I think, than you are in a game if we were to end up getting potentially one more. So we've got the ball. Let's get some possession, continue to put the pressure on. We'll see what ends up happening here. Macklin down the left, nothing going. Well played by Donnie, and they spin it the other way. Here they come. 2-on-2, and he beat him. And Tozer looks like he's done something to his leg. He's hobbling, getting back. Long ball falls there. People trying to get back. Tozer's struggling. Limping horribly is how Mark says it. I wouldn't call it horrible. Definitely limping. Yeah, he's not okay. So we were fortunate there. Everybody was able to get back, and Donnie was a little slow in building it forward and maybe not recognizing that Tozer behind was struggling. He's still trying to shake out his leg. So corner from the left side for Donnie, coming from Howard's right-footed take.
Mom, Dad, this one go. This one go back.
Okay, later, man. I'm working.
Sorry about that. Missed the kick. Free kick from the right. Lee and McElhinden setting up as the wall right from the corner. Well, not from the corner, right from the touchline, sorry. Donnie's come out to play in the second half. Hopefully we're able to turn this around. And that was a mess. That's what you saw? Yeah, I missed that. The goal stunk. We've to be honest, this is like the very first game of the season and how poor we looked at the start of that. There's still Donnie right into the box, being fended off by Luke Young. He pokes it through. Second man to the ball. Free kick for us. Swept his legs out. And we'll be able to clean up a little bit from the back here. Dorena says Mullen comes in at 65. It's possible. Certainly in the range. Yeah, the goal was a mess. I still wish I could see the replay back as to how it got on the other side of Luke. I didn't track that. I was so panicked once it went through the legs that I missed that part of the build-up. So we got it forced forward. Dalby wasn't able to get to it. It was cleared out. 10 yards out. Tozer throw. Red moving into the box. Boyle's up there going to the far post. Short post, far post, goal. Let's call it. Short post, far post, cleared away by Doncaster. Two on two. Man's there, but now he's offside. They're able to push it forward, and I think that was Ironside, but it goes too far. Clearworth with a loose touch. Yeah. Mo Falls. They're just coming at us in waves here. Wow, beautiful by Boyle. Just dispossessed Falls. Kicked it the other way, but Dalby, first touch. Ugly. Guess who's on his feet? Paul Mullen. He's up. The fans are up. The stadium's loud. Everyone's going nuts. Goodness me, is all Mark says. Palmer with the ball down the left. Put a stamp on it while you got a chance. Palmer, Dalby, no, Palmer just gives the ball away. Tom tries to get it back. It's loose, and here comes Doncaster the other way. Can we get a stoppage now? Too far. Let that one roll out. Into the corner. We'll have a throw, but first, I want to hear. I'm turning the sound up for this one. I want to hear it. Dalby. Mullen. Let's go. He's focused to lease up with Palmer, gives him a good swing. Everyone's on their feet. Yeah, I mean, Mark makes a good point. Hopefully, they don't have too many expectations on him. He's been out for so long, but it's good news. It's good news in any event. And here we go. Boyle's got it down on the left side. McAlinden through. Mole's on the prowl. And you know what? That's the first time that's that same center back that dominated Palmer the whole time, and he just went to ground and couldn't handle the speed of Mullen on the left. So I'll take that, even though they've turned it over, and here comes Doncaster down the left side. Just for the sub, yes, Andrew, they went absolutely nuts. I had to turn that up just to hear that coming in. So Doncaster is still able to maintain possession down the left. Cleworth out. Tries to beat him again through the legs. That's got to be a foul the other way. Free kick, you bet. Better from Cleworth. They tried the same play of punching it through his legs and going around him, but he slammed the door on his 5-hole. 5-hole. Is that a football term? A soccer term, or is that hockey only? Through the legs. Nutmeg. Forward. Lee down the left side, looking for a cross from the left side. Box collecting, right foot. Cross in, over the top of everybody. Corner kick coming. Unless he's going to call a free kick. Did he? No. Did they call a free kick for the defender going down? Oluwu coming in. And that may have been as a consequence of what Mullen just ended up doing, bringing Nixon out to better match with Mullen on that side, because Oluwu looked dominant against Palmer, but awkward against Mullen. So maybe that's a just direct matchup move. I'm 4 minutes behind at 62 minutes, eh? I've gone live on my thing. I'm 61 and a half minutes. But I can hit the refresh button. I was 4 minutes behind earlier. I think that's about as good as I can do. Next stoppage in play, I'll hit the refresh button and see what ends up happening. Here we go. That's a stoppage. I'm still at 62 minutes. But that's about, I've refreshed on both of mine, so that's going to be as good as I can get it. It's unfortunate because I was on point the whole time. Tozer. O'Connor. Young Palmer, he had some giddy up on that one. He's up there working for the ball. Comes out. Is that close enough for a Tozer bomb? Let's go. Lots of tarps off in the stands as they showed a shot just now. Got to be that kind of heat. Here comes the throw from Tozer. Up, over, into the box, headed away. We were there. Barnett puts it back over to Tozer. Tozer puts it forward to Young. They step in, Another Tozer bomb. Pendulum switches. Like I think this is the most extreme I've seen for, almost 10-minute blocks. Tozer throw just missed on that header. And they say should have done better on that one. Lawler with it. And a Donny player just went down. And it could be cramps in the heat on that one. Just the way that he sort of reacted, maybe needed to settle it down. Stockport coming back. Fascinating. Fascinating. Yeah, so that's Mo Fall. He's down, and that screams cramp how they're treating him there. Water break. Yeah, it was almost two bad touches from Clearworth. He had an opportunity where it came into him in the ball in the box. Bad first touch up off of his sort of lap. Bounced to the Doncaster player. He runs out to go and mark, and as he's running out there, threw his legs the other way and finds the back of the net. We're playing in the racecourse, so that's par for the course with 68% possession. Notts is by far and away leading the league in possession time, and they're leading the league, leading our slowest. Their build-up and their passing is far and away the slowest and least direct of any team. If you go to the stats, like they've got all the teams kind of in a bubble, and Notts is way down both in number of passes and in the build-up time. So it's an interesting one. So no, it's a home match. Am I silent? Another one going. I'm jealous. So we're back from the water break. Everybody's starting to move in. Stockport's 70% today, dominating Wimbledon. Fascinating stuff. This one is completely different because it's been 10 minutes of domination in segments. 66th minute for me, Andrew. If that's caught me up at all through the reload, I don't know. Yeah, it's backwards. That's how I always remember. He was onside. Mullins is up there battling. We're getting the crowd into it with this. Mullins is. He's feeling it. Yeah, I'm at the 66.5 minutes now, so we're not that far behind. I'm excited to see how this season progresses now. You've got Fletcher coming in. Whistle blows, Tozer with the throw. Here it comes. Near post misses everybody. O'Connor has it, clears it back. 1-0 or 1-1. Sorry, 1-1 is the score here. I'll bring that up. Sorry, my apologies. Barnett down the right again. That was a good cross. Whoa, dangerous. O'Connor has it now. He misses it a little bit too off target. That cross from Barnett right off because he beat the defender clean. Fall, who's cramping, so attack him all you can, and he's able to get past him clean, and he drilled that one in. If that found a Wrexham head, it had nowhere to go but in. It was just perfect service. Fletcher, Evans, McLean coming back. It's going to be an exciting season. It has been so far. That's a push in the back. Got to be a free kick, you bet. Mullen earning a free kick. Clearworth gets it back, and we'll set it up here. 68th minute and counting. Tozer down to the right side. Barnett there again. And if you see Mo fall, you go after him, right? Cross into the box. Palmer. Oh! Palmer again? No. Headed away. Palmer looked threatening on that one. Maybe he's got more giddy up now. So we're able to take it over. Another back-to-back poor headers. The second one from O'Connor, and Donnie's got it at the half, and away they come. I would like to find a way to involve McLean and Mendy. And I don't know how you do that, but Jesus. No card, no foul? He just ran over the back of Lee. That wasn't a flop. Leewood has no business going down there. Interesting. No call on that one. Questionable given the first half, but not the end of the world. We've got it again. Barnett down the right, up against Senior. Mullen right side, back. Bad touch by Mullen going back. Slowed down by Donnie, and they'll set up in the back. Dorena's got an OMG. Does that mean she's ahead of things? It always worries me when I see just an odd comment that comes into the chat, because I'm like, what happened? What don't I know about? Oh, sweep of the leg. McClendon caught him, so we're going to get a free kick from Doncaster just halfway into the attacking half. Slowed down. Not a lot of black jerseys moving forward. Now they're kind of jogging their way forward. That took a long time for them to get built up and set up. They don't take it deep. Now they played it back in. It goes Cleworth there. Header in. Howard collects. Oh, Lee's been in and around it. To be fair, he's been in and around it more in poaching than he has been in. Oh, bad pass. Come on, Doncaster now into the left. The cross. Fortunately, Tozer's there, sticks the foot up, collects it. Jesus. Lee now. Down the left. We got potential. We've got three guys ahead. Get it up there, Lee. No one decides to settle it down. He'll settle it down. I would have preferred he continued to push that. But Cleworth has it on the right. Barnett down the right. Looks for Cleworth. Well done. Nice little play. Cleworth now on the right side looking to find a cross, and he gets intercepted on what was a poor pass. That'll be a Tozer throw now. Oh, he decides to play it. Well, why would we do that? Well, Tozer does the cross in instead. Mullen, header. No, down. Boyle is up there. See, now everybody's sort of off because Boyle was running up to get into the box, and now he's still up there as we're attacking. Good ball in, headed away by Doncaster. Lee trying to control it, headed into the front of the box. Tozer, heavy shot. Blocked away, and Tozer's going to run quickly to get that one for the throw-in. Best way to see a live game go to an away game? I don't know. Depends on geographically where it's located. If it's close to Wrexham, no. Into the box. Cleared away again. That swing of momentum our way now. I mean, Tranmere, they had 2,000. They increased the allocation to us. Do I think Wrexham can win it? Yeah. I think we've been playing well enough to earn the 3 points. We're onto it now. Cross into the box. Too far, too deep. Doncaster gets it. O'Connor knocks it down. Heavy shot. Lawler able to make the save. Two Donny players, three Donny players go down. Did you see that? You have the two players up front, one forward, one defender, both go down, and then Lawler's laying on the ground because I think he's trying to slow it down. So ticket availability, I mean, I haven't tried to buy the ticket, so I can only tell you what I know is the international tickets there's 75 of them available. I'm assuming that you're asking because you're international. 75 tickets are available, and they do not sell as fast as the local tickets do. So there's been an opportunity for people to get them even 12, 18 hours after. If you're waiting longer than that, it's going to be a challenge. The away games, there's no international allocation, and so I think the availability goes pretty quick, especially almost as fast as a home game, especially for the geographically close ones. I think there was for the Wimbledon match a little bit of a lag time, if I recall correctly. So as far as availability, I think your best bet is Wrexham, and there's larger availability for the ticket exchange if you're not able to get a ticket. So we're still waiting here. We're at the 74th minute. Play's gone down because those two players went down. Dorina, they absolutely can wear a Wrexham jersey because England doesn't play nice in the stadiums together, so they have to separate them. There's an away stand. 10% of the allocation minimum is required by the league to ensure that the away fans have a place to watch the game, and they will all sit together, and you can cheer and scream and yell and slag off the other side as much as you want. So we're back at it now. 74th minute, kick was all the way down the field essentially, and Howard collects it. And Andrew, you can feel free to pitch in if I've stated anything regarding the home and away tickets that's not clear. I find it fascinating. Like I go to an NHL hockey game where fighting happens on the ice. People are heated and ugly, but you heckle, you chuckle. Very rarely are there fights in the stands, and I know I've said enough and done enough. I've only been involved in one tussle at any hockey game I've ever been at, and that one I probably asked for. So you can buy tickets at an away stadium for sure, and you can sit in the homestand. That's my runner-up prize when I'm hoping to get there for Easter, and I'm hoping to get Wrexham tickets. But if I can't, as an international, I can buy, and also obviously the in-laws are in Doncaster. Mullen header, yeah, missed it to the left. Yeah, I wouldn't wear if I was an international who bought tickets in the away stadium and sat with the home fans. I am not wearing my jersey to the game, and I'm keeping my mouth shut. Just a different relationship between the fans, and more willing to get involved physically. I think, which is interesting because the UK is known for its banter. More so than Canadians are for sure, and I think North Americans generally, but less tolerant of receiving banter that's not liked inside the football stadium. Yeah, I wonder if that junior game is also because there's no stewards and nobody to keep them separated. I just find it the whole hooligan development and the separation of the fans and it extending worldwide. It's an interesting cultural phenomenon unique to football, and as a sport that is not violent on the pitch, as far as permissive fighting and that sort of stuff. It's an interesting thing. Anyway, 76.5 minutes. Play's kind of been scrappy as of late. Middle of the field, going back and forth between the goalies. Doncaster just got possession from the back. I went to fight and a hockey game broke out. We've got it now on a turnover, but O'Connor's been off today. I don't know if anybody else is with me on that take. Shots have been a little bit off. That one was a good first touch to get it to his feet, and then just a weird off-put kick that didn't do anything. And then Tozer heels it away. Boyle, scrappy, ball up in the air. McElhinden gets it, chipped forward from Mullen to Palmer, and away it goes, high ball. Somebody settle down and get possession here. Barnett slows it down. He's looking. Clearworth goes for a run. Does he give it to him? He does now. Clearworth looking for it, punches it forward, misses on the pass, but collects it. And just a high ball out like to nobody. Why would we give away possession just like that? All that setup, build up, tried. You fail it once, it comes back to the center back and just pumped up into the air and straight to Doncaster. And now they're trying to settle down with possession. No, that's got to be it. Tom O'Connor again, and that one's going to get a card. Sweep of the legs. That's just goes back to my previous comment that this is probably the weakest game I've seen Tom play. And that one was just a lazy sweep of the leg. He got beat and just drags him down. Yeah, Mark says he just switched off again. Then I've been struggling. Yeah, the distance might be helpful with the Ohio. Actually, I don't know the travel time between. And our Doncaster with space in the middle of the box, kick blocked by Boyle, thankfully. They're still got it, threatening Boyle with the header. Give him 2 stars for that one. Palmer got it, dragged down. You've got to give a yellow on that one. He's reaching in his pocket. So that's one of those professional fouls. Palmer's lying down. I don't think he's actually injured. Senior's still got a knee problem, at least every time he comes up. But this foul is less harmful than it is professional foul. It's Palmer and Mullen away for the races. And so he just dragged Palmer down, and yellow card, free kick from just inside our side of half. Getting close to 80th minute here. Haven't shown enough in the second half. I'm hoping that we get a 10 minutes plus extra time and the team gets a little hungry, because I'm surprised that it's been that. To me, this is a heart question, not a performance question. And that's the first time I've said that this season. McAlinden just gets stripped. Donnie maintains possession down the right. It's odd that we can say 13 shots is quiet, but it has been for us. Mullen's up there digging, working hard. Palmer gives the frustrated sighs. The kick goes to where Mullen was. A bad first touch by Donnie. Are we able to get possession? Lee gets it. Settle it down. Tough. It was Lee still gets it. He's scrapping. He gains possession. Good on him. Long ball, looking for Mullen. He gets around. He's inside the box. Palmer's not up there. Come on, man. Earns a corner. Mullen didn't put his work in on that one all alone, because Palmer slow to get up there. So he took it on himself, ended up earning the corner. Evans, Fletcher. McAlinden coming off for Evans. And then here comes Palmer for Fletcher. Debut. Make a story. Let's go. It's stuff like this. You know what? Parkey did this at the right time, because I made the comment that it just looked like the hearts were a little bit low. Mullen did his thing to pull it in. Am I doing classes? I've no classes, but I have been watching more of other people doing broadcasting and trying to understand what I should and shouldn't be doing. Realizing this wasn't just going to be a chat. So 81st minute, coming close to the 82nd, right-footed cross. Oh, ricochet. I don't know who that was that came screaming in to try and get that header. Doncaster the other way, got the legs, got to put the heads down. Barnett, good jets to be able to get there. It's played back to Howard. Threatening ball, because Howard hadn't made it back to the goal. So that playback was a little bit dangerous, and it results in a turnovers. It's just cleared, and now they've got numbers. Get some shape, guys. Everybody's too clustered together. Donnie messed that up from the right side and just pumped it in. Howard was able to clear it or collect it and clear it. That was scary, because everybody just panicked towards the net. Fletcher. Was on the right side, but wasn't able to get us onto the ball. And here's Nixon now playing it back. Lawler. Forward. Mullen's screaming directions as he's chasing him down. Mullen's on for the press, and Fletcher's with him now because he's got legs. And now you see Luke Young running up. So it looks like there's an intention to put more pressure on the ball into Doncaster's third. Come on, boys. 83rd minute. The clock is running. Doncaster with possession down the right side. Continuing. 3 guys. Where's the other center backs? God. 83rd minute. circle that one. I'm going to watch what happened there on replay again, because that was interesting in the development. Is Doncaster just comes down and just keeps pitching it at 45-degree angles closer to the pitch or closer to the net. And as it's going there, you realize we only have one guy back. So long ball down, Donnie's heads it away, and they gain possession in our zone. They give it away. We've got it. Scrappy back and forth. High ball going the other way. We give it away. Doncaster heads it down. They give it away. Nobody wants it. Awkward bounce. We settle it down. Settle it down. This is not pretty football at the moment. Long ball from Tozer down the left side. O'Connor not able to get there. It's headed away, and Doncaster turns it the way. We intercept. They do a tackle. They collect it. Nobody wants the ball. Everybody wants the ball. Getting close to 5 minutes left. Yeah, Mole's open the account. Fletcher. Let's get Fletcher on too. You know what? Let's have Tom save what has been his probably worst game that I've seen. Find a way to find it. I don't care who. We've settled it down, sort of Evans in the back now. High ball down the left side. Oof. Powerful challenge by Tom. No nonsense on that one. Gets it back. Lee, left side. Lee and O'Connor to the left. Right foot entry into Mullins. Back to Lee. Oh! Did he get a deflection? Is that a corner? Or did he just miss that? He just missed it. Sort of chopped the toe, and it looked, did it hit the turf, and that's why it went so off? But chopped it and sliced it straight to the right. Nice little pass to him, and no, wasn't, just directed it and hit it. Cleworth forward just misses Mullen on the pass, and Donnie's able to get it, and away it goes forward. Tozer settles it down. Boyle settles it down. I'm using the word settle in the hopes that they settle it down. They don't. They kick it all the way over, and it's now Lawler with it in the back. And what's interesting is 10 minutes ago I said this is the first game I say no heart. The last 10 minutes has been just no, it's all heart. Everybody's running all over the field, but man, is it scrappy. There's been no technical proficiency, and now Donnie has it down the right. Bad touch, playing it forward, and it's going to roll up for a goal kick. Like, it's just mistakes everywhere. And to be fair, at this level, I haven't seen that. I haven't seen it like this yet. Certainly for moments. Free kick to us, unnecessary charge down into the back of Luke Young. 5 minutes left. Cleworth takes it. Tozer looking over to Cleworth, right side. Back to Tozer. Searching far left side, looking for O'Connor's over there, but it hits a Donnie head, but we collect it. Evans over to Lee down the left side, has O'Connor to his left, Evans to his right. Shimmy, shake, over to the right, into the front of the box, hammers it, scores! Yes! Yes! Who asked for Lee? You just got him. Shimmy, shake, around the corner, right-footed cross, finds the left part of the net. Beauty! Woo! Give me that all day. Lee just strapped on and said, you know what? Let's take this one home. I'm going to call it. Woo! Beauty. And I'm going to have to take this as a clip and make that, because I called that one really well. I knew it was happening. Shimmy, shake. Come on, change the score. Woo! Oh, boy. Shimmy, shake. I'm watching the replay. Shimmy, shake, right side. Beats him easy. Reaching out. Broadband can't even get him with the hand, trying to foul him. Gets around, finds space, hammers it. What can Lawler do? Oh, man. Broadman's going to have nightmares about that one. Nightmares about that one. Like, that was embarrassing. He just walked him. And he had 3-4 feet at before he took the shot. Come on now. 88.5 minutes. We're hoping for 1 minute of extra time. Woo! Oh, don't call that. Flop. So, free kick from close to the box. Cleworth is there. Is he pulling a card out? Must have been. Well, they're actually, Marcus is saying that was a clear yellow. I thought that was a flop. I didn't see any contact. Come on. I want to see that on the replay because I thought that was in the air and was going well over his head, and he just took the opportunity to fall. So 89th minute. Lots for me to take up when I watch this on replay. So it's going to be a right-footed kick by the Doncaster player. We've got everybody back, except for I don't see. Oh, Mullen is back there. Do I see Fletcher back there? We've got everybody back. They're searching. Oh, and here comes a sub. Yeah, Fletcher's back. Everybody's back defending, and they've got 3 that are outside the box. Here comes the sub. 3 up high, everybody else for Donnie. It's a long one, it's far, and that's going to go for a corner headed out by Fletcher. Thank you, Fletcher. Man, that replay is glorious to watch because you can see the whole stand knew that was going in right from off of his boot. So going to be a right-footed corner. Knocked away. Running away, Mullen. Oh, fighting off 2 players. Plays it forward to Fletcher. No, just about too much on it, but we get it back. Fletcher now. We've got Fletcher and Mullen up on the left side. He's looking. He's searching, trying to find Mullen. Oh, nice little back to the right foot, but can't get the cross in. They're looking for a foul, but nothing really in that. 90th minute. I missed 8 minutes added. Was it 8 minutes added? I don't see it up on the graphic yet. Whoever's doing the graphics for the game is a little bit slow on iFollow. We've done this before where I missed the announcement. Plus 8 minutes. Yikes. So, yeah, we're a minute in. I was too involved watching that one come down the play. I'm trying to think. Like, we had the 2 players go down from Doncaster. We had 2 goals, but I'm trying to think. I would have assumed 6 just based on the play of the first half, but hey, it is what it is. They keep track. They've got it's supposed to be more automatic and calculated. Doncaster, middle of the pitch. 2 minutes into the 8 minutes, over to the left side. Everybody's running back except for Fletcher. Played out George Evans, gold star. Played forward Fletcher. He's got wheels. 2 on 2. Give it over to Mullins. Mullins right side. Mullins. Oh, bad first touch. Oh. Cleared away. We've got to throw. Mullins looking to the sky. He's not happy with that one. But man, that was, somebody said Fletcher was slow. He just pulled on wheels on that one. You don't expect a 36-year-old to run that fast. I know I couldn't at 36. I sure as hell can't do it now. He's got beat center back speed. Anyway, 53. I love that at the end of the game, everybody joins in right at the end, especially when Wrexham's up. So into the corner. Cross in, only Mullen and Fletcher there in the box up against 5, not able to do anything. Lee settles it down, gets it over to Fletcher. Fletcher searching, goes to his left foot. Wow! From nothing, deflected out. We're going to get a corner. Fletcher! He's a threat. I want to watch this one again. No, there's no Ryan Reynolds in this, but I will tell my wife that you thought so. I'm going to take a screenshot of that. Whoop, done. Luke Young, right-footed, 3 minutes into the 8 minutes. Here it comes, deep, too far maybe. Big crowd. Tozer's there, settles it down outside the box on the right side, playing towards the goal line. And we'll get another corner out of it. Just keep it rolling, guys. Keep it rolling. Caesar, how are you, friend? It's nice to see you. Well, and Kim, that might make sense as to why he went to the left. He faked right, went left. Luke Young, right-footed. Middle of the box, headed away, settles down. Lee searching, settles it down in the middle, puts it back to Luke. Now, you know what? Lee, just smart. Find the open space and give it to Luke to find it. Luke beats his man up in the air. Oh, Boyle was up there with the header, but couldn't get enough head. That was he got up there too soon. He was waiting for it to come down. You can see it. I always hate those moments where you're up there and you're desperate and hoping the ball comes down to you and try to find more space. So had right position, just up a little bit too early. Yes, Jed's got the comment there. If you haven't, subscribe, click the like button, give me the algorithm gods as we're still building. I'm going to hit the hours necessary to monetize here way before I get subscriptions. So would love those. Lee settles it down. He's just taken over the left field, midfield. He gave it away. Scrappy back and forth over to the right side where unfortunately just all Doncaster players over there. 5 minutes into injury time, which leaves 3 minutes left. Switched over to the right side. Nixon, this late minutes, or last half sub, gets it. He plays it forward. He comes and collects it. Lots of space for him to get it. Right side, cross in, danger. Headed away. It's down to them, though. Whoa, Max Cleworth with the rescue. Missed hit. It's going to go for a throw-in, but yikes. That was headed away. I thought it was going to get cleared, got knocked down by Doncaster, played forward, and Max was there to the rescue to be able. Those goals that we were letting in before. You remember the ones, especially against Swindon Town, that Young scored one way. That was looking like that's what it would be, just a one move goal type of thing. But they made the move, but Cleworth shut it down. So 6 minutes still on the left side. Man, the clock doesn't seem like it's moving, does it? Wrexham, playing it around into the right side. Donnie into the cross. It hits us, deflects, and Tozer collects it. Somebody get it clear, but he cleared it off of Boyle's foot. Right to Donner in the penalty area, searching. Come on, somebody get there. Corner. God. That was unfortunate. Tozer just went to go and clear. He had time, he had space, and pumped it right off of Boyle's foot. So it went up in the air and landed onto a Doncaster player. Right-footed cross coming into the box, 7th minute. Mullen has not been looking sharp, but he's been looking like he's had all heart and all the effort. Wow, back heel. Just missed it to the left corner. We're lucky. Yeah, no, I haven't brought the score up again, so I'll bring up here. We're 2-1. Dangerous cross. Did he get that back heel? Yes, it was. Back heel, slid through. We got lucky because that was going to the net if he would have gotten a little bit more better bite of the ball. But I don't know. I'll let other people give their comments on Mullen as well down below. But he's had all heart. He's been up there. The pace looks fine. His effort looks fine. He's had a couple of bad first touches, but he's been hungry. So give him for Mullen, not the perfect game, but it's just nice to see him out there. And him and Fletcher had a nice little bit of interplay that makes it look like that's a potential duo. It looked good. I hear you, Andrew. I just didn't expect the pace. We're whistling. 8 minutes have gone by. Get possession. Should be a whistle here. They played it forward to Fletcher, letting it go. Oh! Read that. No, just a yellow? We're going to get a play here. Anderson looks like he was actually expecting it to be a red. He paused and had to have a look at the color. Fletcher down the right side, and professional foul with aggression, just sort of swiped his legs and flipped Fletcher over. Yeah, he just, come on, you've got to give that a red. He just stuck his leg in there and ripped his leg off. One more play. Andrew says we won because we have. They'll blow it down after this attempt on goal, and we're not even going to take it. We're just going to play it to Fletcher and let the whistle blow. 3 points to put him in the bank. Woo! Mark saying that was our least good performance of the season, and I'm with him. That was scrappy and ugly. Technically, we were just not proficient, but you'll take ugly wins more than looking pretty in a loss. And so fortunate that we had Donnie today potentially. Man of the match. Man of the match. Oh, Barnett down the right? I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts on that? I mean, Lee got the goal there to bring it through, and that was glorious, but he, you know, we commented that he was missing in the first half. Boyle defensively again was solid. Clearworth had the mistake. Whew, it just feels good. Who am I going to go with for man of the match? I really don't know on that one. Lee, just because he got the goal, it's got to be somebody different than Lee, and he didn't show up for 3 quarters. I'm going to go with Barnett, threatening down the right. Kim says not the worst performance, but sluggish and messy for the first 60 to 70 minutes. Yeah, but that's what I mean is we pulled it out, right? Full credit for pulling it out. But it was 70th minute, I think I said, for the first time, I questioned the heart. It just didn't seem like anybody was after it and really wanting it. And then it was the subs that came in, and then it picked everybody up, and Lee put on his little performance with that goal. That one and the Bickerstaff goal earlier in the season, I think Lee's got to usurp that one for goal of the year. So that's got the shake and shimmy. Yeah, if you didn't get to see it live, you're going to have to look for that Twitter highlights wherever you can find it. Oh, hard racing. Why do we always do this in the late 20th minute or 80th minute? Just, it's a mess. I'm just going to go back to FOTMob really quick to see what their thoughts are on the game, and then take a look around the League 2 scoreboard before we wrap, because I've got things to do with Munchkins. Who scored? I'm just seeing. So they went with their man of the match was Lee at 7.9. And I guess they always have, when players come on and off, they end up changing things up. I don't have my footy stats up. Or not my footy stats, my FOTMob. Rui, you're welcome. I'm glad that you commented. Make sure you guys subscribe down below. I still got 42 of you. It's just really easy to do. It helps no cost to you. It helps the algorithm. It helps me. I'm going to go to where do I go? I got so much to talk about and so much that I want to get into just for a little bit here while we've got a bunch of people. So looking at things, Gilliam is top of the table. You know what? Knots and MK had the draw, it looks like. So that's beautiful, because I didn't want a 3-point game. Andrew doesn't care about the table. See, I do. I do. Georgia and Michigan repping today. I gotta write those ones down before I forget. And if you're out of country, out of province, a different province, feel free to let us know. I think I've had Michigan, haven't I? No, I've had Ohio. So moved up to 7th. with Gillingham's currently leading. That puts us three out of the top. We're in a 3-way tie, so it's the goal for and against difference that has us sitting where we're sitting, being up 2 compared to Swindon's 9. So Swindon ended up drawing on that one, but they have a game 2 in hand. No, they ended up winning, but it was the game in hand. Up to 7th, into town next, Grimsby. So that's going to be a good one. Grimsby sitting at 12th, undefeated in their last 5. Why right now? Because when you're mid-table, you got to just stay close. Like, I'm happy to be in the top half, but when we were sitting staring at 18, you got to worry about the table. You've got to get hungry with it. I know that we need 88 points. I've done the video before. 88 points guarantees that you get promotion, and it's likely that you'll end up winning the championship. So I've set that as the bar. You don't need 88. You probably need something around 82 to 86. And we were well off the pace. And so that's why I care about the table, is because you fall that far off the pace and you've got to string together a 5-game win streak. And in League 2, that's a tough ask. And so that's why I was worried about it and felt like we needed to pull it out. So I'm getting all the ads playing. So Doreen, I assume that you're in the UK watching that one. I haven't, to be fair, tried iFollow to pick up anybody else other than Wrexham, but I might start to poke around. So I brought up the FOTMob stats, and then I think I closed it out. See, I'm just so scrambled and excited that I'm just not paying attention. So 2-1, what do they end up saying here as to the stats? Expected goals, we were expected to win with a 1-0 win. Dominated in momentum for the majority of the second half. Just really, it was that first rush that they had right when they came out. 16 shots to 8. So again, another game where we're throwing them out there. But one big chance going either way. Passing, actually a fairly big divide, 73% to 82%. And we earned 6 corners. Elliot Lee was their man of the match. Luke Young second, Barnett third. I'm going to give the nod to Barnett just because I actually thought Lee was, even though he had potential goal of the season, that he was poor up until that point in time. There were some bad first touches. Their top player was Mo Fall, which I'd agree with in the first half. The second half, he was injured throughout. There was one other site that I wanted to go to because it has the heat maps, just to see where people were at. I'm not going to pull that one up. So anyway, focusing on this, Fletcher and Evans both making a case to start. Evans looked solid. There was that defensive take at the end when we were in trouble. And Zergis, I don't know how to pronounce Llewellyn's. Don't know how to pronounce your name. I apologize if I butchered it. I'll just call you X. You're very welcome. I am enjoying doing this, and I'm hoping that it continues to get bigger and bigger. Yeah, and Andrew, I think the other catch is the September's, and Brendan pointed this out at the half, the stretch is weaker right now than it is in October as far as the quality of the players, at least based on the table. So we need to bank some points here. Brendan, I'm just going to bring you in quick, and then we can shut it down if you want. A scramble. I should have given you a heads up in advance of doing that. He's like, whoa. Fortunately, I can see him before he does it, so I know I'm not catching him off guard as far as him just sitting there. I saw you eavesdropping. Hey, Alex, nice to see you. And maybe I'm getting some people coming in having a quick look. I can't stay too long. But Brendan, let me know what your thoughts are and what I bantered about. Who was your man of the match?
I don't know. I was thinking Lee was the only guy showing energy for a lot of it. Granted, he was making mistakes, but he was all over the place killing himself. Okay. That's why I liked Lee. I mean, Barnett had a great game, without a doubt. Everyone always talks so well about Young, and I just don't see it. I saw a lot of giveaways today and bad plays by him.
He's great at interceptions and dispossessing people. He also gets dispossessed a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And he did today. But from set pieces, I mean, it was interesting with both him and with O'Connor because they both take, depending on side, right? They take their fair share of set pieces. But I prefer O'Connor in the set pieces, but then Luke Young has been impressing me the last 3 matches he's played. So
yeah, O'Connor's been off his game. I mean, I think, and Evans. So if you watch, Evans seems to know exactly when to press, when to go for a steal, when to really disrupt the other team. I think we need to see more of him out there from this center.
yeah, and I don't know if you had the same take on Clearworth as I did. I mean, that was a really bad first touch on that goal that went back in the air. And then he got nutmegged, 5-holed through. But at the end of the game there, how many times have we seen this season the opposing player standing in front of the box, just inside the box, faking one way, going the other way, and then kicking it into the back of the net? And Clearworth prevented it. He's the only guy so far that's really stepped up and prevented it. Do we give him credit for that and say that it's a wash?
Goodbye, Caesar. Nice seeing you. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he didn't look good. He most of the game. He has moments, right? So I don't think you give up on him. McAlinden, on the other hand,
Yeah,
I think you give up on him. Like there was so much bad today from him. I don't know that I saw him make a decent play once.
sorry, Alex, I'm just going to step in. The score was 2-1. That's a typo from Jed, and I know he knows better, so I'm not going to correct him. I think that was a typo. I just didn't want Alex to leave thinking it was 2-2. It was a 2-1 win. I'll put that back up because it's there. What did you think of Fletcher?
He looks very good. I mean, definitely not enough time to see, but when I saw his highlights, how hard he hits the ball, how, again, he's another great one in the air with headers, which is excellent, meaning you could sub him in instead of Palmer. You could go Fletcher and Mullen, and you still have someone that's going to be great on all those crosses. You know? So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he very quickly elevates to, Mullen and him as the two of them.
And I didn't get the number of the Doncaster player that was back there when he turned on the Jets. I fully expected Fletcher to be aerial threat, physical body, sort of like Palmer, to try to get control of the ball and to play off of him either way, sort of like he did on that pass to Lee where earlier before Lee scored, where Lee pumped it over to the right side too far. That's what I expected Fletcher to provide, but I'll tell you what, he blasted by that center back with speed, and I thought, holy crap, if he's got wheels too. Andrew put out the caution that he hasn't really had as much finish as he would like, and that's true. The shot conversion rate's a little bit lower, but if you take speed, control, and an aerial threat, I'm more excited after the brief 10 minutes we had than we were before.
So, I don't know what Mullen's conversion rate is, right? I remember him missing a lot, but I've never cared when Mullen misses, even when they're close, because he creates so many chances all on his own, right? They throw the ball out near him, he bodies a guy, he makes something happen, and so what if he misses the shot? My understanding was that Fletcher had a 2-point something, every 2-point something games he was scoring a goal. I think that's good. If you're scoring inside of 1 out of every 3 games, then you're making an impact. If he creates more chances and misses a few more, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, it's interesting. National League, the stats that Footy Stats has as to what the conversion rate is a little bit lower. So not going to be able to pull that. They just have goals per game and goal involvement. But I'm with you. He lots of service for him in Dundee, and the conversion rate was not horrible. It was in the middle of the pack, and so there's the reason I highlighted that highlight. Andrew just letting us know Macklin playing out of position today, so there's some consideration there. Filling in
Andrew,
McLean on
his position should be bench.
And I never looked up. Whoo, being honest, I never caught. I I heard Mark on Dragonheart on the podcast say that Mendy was with the team for the Newcastle game, and that he didn't have the call up, and so maybe he was right, maybe he was wrong, maybe he was away. I'm not sure, but if he was with the team, I don't know the reason why Mendy didn't come in. My question, and maybe this is for Andrew more than for you, unless you have an opinion or no, is how do we get Mendy and McLean into the lineup at the same time? They're going to be playing the same position. Can you move McLean up out of the wing position and put him on the left side of our midfielders?
That's what they've said, right?
Is that
that
the
means
option?
you have to get rid of Young. You have to get rid of Young off the field at that point, right? Because I think you got to get rid of Tom O'Connor at the moment and get Evans in there.
Yeah.
So I think you're running Lee, McLean, and Evans there with if you're going to be running Mendy on the left.
Yeah, it'll be that was a tough one for me because just quality wise, I'd like to be able to see them up there. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. You've got Tom, who was off today. We'll see what the ramifications are for that, for him getting a run out. You've got Lee, who's going to have to be penciled in every game in the midfield. You've got Evans. Is he more going to be coming in the back three, or is he got his place secure in the midfield role because he's been looking good? We're deep. I guess that's a good thing because I'm struggling to find combinations. So. Not combination, but who I prefer.
When I watch Mendy, again, I don't see any right foot. I don't have, you can see Barnett take guys on his left foot, on his right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously he favors going right, but he can get left. Whereas Mendy can't go right.
He just burns you. He has
go left.
He has,
right, and he does that well.
He crosses it well. Barnett doesn't have.
Yeah, and he goes left well, but and I just see more defensive mistakes out of him maybe than Barnett, where McLean brings energy, toughness, very solid defensively, and pretty good offensively with the cross. And he seems to be able to go either foot, not particularly strong, but he's not all left or something, or all right. So. I mean, I think you'd be better off putting McLean there if you think that you have Young or someone else in the midfield you want, and you don't want to be moving McLean there.
I'm going to have to watch to see what's up with Hayden's injury, whether that means O'Connell's going to draw back in, whether Cleworth has usurped him, whether that means Evans gets his time in the back. I'm hoping that the Hayden thing isn't that bad. Andrew says playing James in center midfield is a no-no. I just want the best quality on the pitch, and you can't play Mendy in center midfield, and for the reasons that Brendan just went over. He's got one mode of play, right, and it's burning down the left side with his left foot. So what do we do? I feel like we're missing out on the use of an asset. Anytime, either way, McLean's better than Mendy. That's the reality, but I can't see how. I don't want Mendy on the bench, and so I guess that's the only way that I can justify getting both of them on. So Grimsby next week is W&G identified. I'm probably going to end up wrapping it out. We're down to 24 minutes. I don't know whether Fear and Devotion, Rob, Ryan Red are going to be doing their Twitter space. When they do, it's actually a really good listen. Lots of good insight from those guys when they have it, and the fans that end up tuning in. Tuesday, welcome to Wrexham. I think we're going to be doing a Sunday sort of chat. I'm hoping with maybe Sandy, maybe one other, where we can talk about the broadcast. We've got another subject we want to talk about that I'll keep secret. Maybe do a roundtable thing. It's just tough. I'd like to do something on Thursday to fill the gap right after the Tuesday, Wednesday Welcome to Wrexham documentaries. For anybody who wants to come on, talk about the show, talk about the game that's upcoming, just sort of do a roundtable discussion like this. The challenge that I'm finding is just fitting the time. Everybody's got work schedules. For me, I get home at late in the middle of the evening, late in the evening, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm not going to wake up at 6 o'clock and do something, because I don't think I'm going to get very many people on the west coast of the U.S. So trying to figure out, and I think Sunday's the only way that we might be able to pull something together. So we'll see, record it and put it out there for people to watch afterwards, I guess, as well. And then the 17th, the women's match is going to be on. So I'm excited to see how that goes. I'm going to have to review the numbers and take a look at the pictures, because I don't know. I haven't seen enough of the girls playing, and they've also got 4 or 5 new players that came in. As far as what's going on in the social content world, if you haven't checked out the last Dragonheart YouTube video, do that. They've got a bunch of stats websites that are in the description that I think are helpful and insightful to be able to go around and poke around that Mark's recommended. Plus, they have the interview with Carly, and I'm going to forget her name, from New York. The 2 young girls, 10 and 11, who have met through the whole Wrexham experience, and how awesome that is to see how excited they are. Carly gives really good vlogs of the women's matches, and so she's out there in that space. So check her out. Subscribe. I've got 24 people still here. If you haven't, please do. The last couple of videos, I'm running up with the hours, and I'm like, holy, I'm going to get to 4,000 hours. The whole, the reason why it matters, it's no cost to you guys, but advertisement comes in, trickles in, a little bit of money here. It's not going to be, I'm going to get rich off this thing, but can pay for this platform. I'm going to take time for the graphics. It just motivates things going forward and allows us to do more and more and more. It's my whole goal to do this, and then maybe to start paying people to help out with the website, help out with the social media content, help out and just pump out more stuff. I want this to be a big project, and want it to be individuals like Brendan and others. I've got another person, I'm going to keep it a surprise, but I've got another person making a video that they're interested in doing stuff. So that'll be out on YouTube when they wrap that up and finish it and do their thing. If you have something that you want to do, you want to get on these like Brendan does, you want to do your own thing, you want to create your own videos, you want to make graphics, you want to help me with whatever, write some articles. The whole idea of this is to just grow as a fan base and learn the game together. You don't have to be a professional. I sure as hell am not. Yeah, Brendan's saying not me, but we're learning as we go. So, all right, I'm going to wrap it up. It's been fun. It's been a blast. Up the town and away we go. This has been the Red Horn.